It's back. The NWA presents the return of the Crockett Cup Tag Team Tournament live on pay-per-view from the historic Nashville Fairgrounds Saturday, March 19th and Sunday, March 20th. No less than 20 teams, 2 nights, 1 massive event. Scheduled to appear are NWA World Tag Team Champions La Rebellion, the Briscoe Brothers, the British Invasion, Strictly Business, and many, many more. Tickets are on sale now at NWATix.com. That's NWATix.com.
Oh yeah, what is up, you beautiful people? This is Gary Horn, and this is the NWA, the show celebrating the past, present, future, history, legacy, and tradition of the greatest pro wrestling entity of all time. Of course, we're talking about the National Wrestling Alliance, and we're all wearing NWA shirts today. So, no,
we did it.
Given to me.
This is evidently our holiday special with Gary's frozen tree in the back. From straight out.
Hey, Doc, let it go. Let it go.
And we
what
just
we
started.
need is-
We just started too. We got
Or let's make it a more modern reference. Hey, we don't talk about the Christmas tree behind him.
Yeah, that's harder to
Gotcha.
fit in a song, but it works. Yeah.
We don't talk about the Christmas tree behind him. I don't know. I can't remember the song. I watched it once.
No.
There goes the Christmas tree. What? There goes the Christmas tree.
See, we can tell this man deals with children because he remembers all that stuff. Us, I got dogs. They don't watch Disney movies or Pixar or whatever it was.
Well, those voices you're hearing are, of course, Will Martin, Doc Stinson, and Kyle Davis is here again this week.
I'm sorry, when it popped up, I felt like I was at the beginning of a game show, like circle gets a square, and like there's go like, today's celebrity guest, hey, and they're like,
I think what you,
Kyle Davis, and you hear the collective like, we're hemorrhaging viewers right now.
are people leaving? I'm so sorry. I'll stop talking.
You're good.
bearded
okay.
quadrophenia. This is a niche audience here. So this is whatever. I saw the thing with bearded quadrophenia that sounds like a movie I'm not allowed to watch.
Did you say quiche audience?
A quiche audience.
Yes.
This is what
quiche,
it's going to
man.
be
That's
all
what
night. This and the Crockett Cup, people. This is what we're going to do. So
what you
shout
signed
out
up
to
for.
everybody
Welcome.
who's joining us. Certified Wrestling with the MMA. Devin, John Gott, Young Rider, Willie Bowen's here. Marlon's here. So many people. I saw Bobby in the chat. Scott, Devin, of course. And
Devin telling me my beard's not long enough. I keep this thing nicely trimmed, and every time I try to grow it out, it gets all crazy looking, and I feel like my face gets weird, and then I trim it. You know, it's a problem. I don't have the ability to dedicate myself to things like these gentlemen do, but I'm hoping it rubs off on me, and then one day I can be cool like them.
You're
I'm
an actual
dedicated.
on-air personality, and we are just
True.
podcasters, so we don't put as much time into the maintenance. Doc's got a nice.
No. You can see
nice
I've got a nice face. I'll admit it. But the beard is it's very peppered and all that. And I find, Kyle, that when I trim down, when I go on the Manscaped 3.0 that Gary lent me, or
gifted.
what's the word?
Secondhand
Gifted to me. Yes.
Is this supposed to be for your face? Because I've listened to the ads.
That's part of the joke. We're starting a company called Rescaped, by the way. We're starting a company called Rescaped, where it's like the Uber of Manscaped. You can rent our Manscaped for a small fee and then return it, and
I'm so glad at the top of the show it says the views are not representative of the National Wrestling Alliance, because we're talking about trimmers that are not a sponsor for us. But that's okay.
We're talking to the hardcore fan base. They know about these things. And
by the way, David Crockett says hi. He literally just texted me, and he's very much looking forward to being part of the Crockett Cup.
That's awesome.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we're excited about David Crockett.
What a weird life. What a weird life.
Isn't it, though?
What a strange coincidence, too, that a man named David Crockett is texting you about an event called the Crockett Cup. What are the chances of that?
It's so weird. It's almost as if the heritage of the Crockett Cup goes back to the namesake, and that part of the reason David Crockett will be there is just because what kind of Crockett Cup would it be without a Crockett? So we've got one that can do commentary and everything else. Who knows what he's going to be doing?
You just pulled an M. Night Shyamalan on it. You just pulled an M. Night Shyamalan on us. You telling us this guy is related to... No, I'm kidding.
Santa's going to be at all 5 nights. I like that. Good. We'll bring cookies.
Yes, that's going to be a lot of fun. I was thinking about the same thing, Kyle. Just a weird life that we're doing a live stream, and I mean, I can say for myself, I've been doing this for years now, and Homicide might just crash tonight. And that is a weird thing that I never thought would ever happen. And also still scared, still afraid.
Yeah. He had you rattled in Oak Grove, man.
I wish I could roll his brats like that. Every time I try to do it, he just looks at me angrily because I'm trying to be cool. But instead, I think he just thinks I'm mocking him. And that's a man you don't want to ever make feel like you're mocking him.
He feels like the kind of guy that like people like Eddie Kings that are the only people that ever are on the level that he thinks you're okay. Like you're cool. Everybody else, he's just like still not sure about you.
Oh, he hates me not because of my philosophy, because I'm a Braves fan. Well, that seems to come up every time we're around each other.
I'm sure that it's because you bring it up because you have a death wish.
Okay. First of all, I'm not 100% in love with your tone right there. Point A. Point two, back to the Christmas tree. All right, let's talk more.
This guy. It goes with the Jason mask over here. And the lightsaber that's shooting up out of my back.
I see a Nick Aldis book there.
Yeah.
I see I Spy with my little eye, things that are in the background that maybe he doesn't know is there. Is that one of those guns that shoots money?
I wish.
What is that red thing? Or am I drawing attention to something nobody's supposed to be seeing?
And why? Hey,
not yet.
Speaking about
it's
things
Hellboy's fist.
See. Okay.
Yeah, it's a fake. And there's
okay. All right. Cool. All right.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. There's Bret the Hitman Hart's books right next to Nick Aldis's book. And Ric Flair.
It's just I saw a body and I recognize those pecs.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is getting weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't really know where we're gonna go.
It's been weird.
Sorry.
But yeah, well, thanks to everybody for being here. We're gonna talk about Crockett Cup, and the show is just loose and free, just like this at all times. We're going to be joined by some of the competitors from the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship match here in a little bit, and we're gonna talk about wrestling. That's what we're here for, right? Crockett Cup is next weekend. Have you gotten your tickets? NWATix.com. That's where you go. Get tickets for those. Not only Crockett Cup at the Nashville Fairgrounds, March 19th and 20th. You can also go to NWA Tix and get your tickets for the TV tapings. They're going to be taking place at Skyway Studios on the 21st through the 23rd. You're going to get 2 days of Powerrr and 1 day of NWA USA. How exciting is that? You should join us for that too.
That's what's up.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but the Briscoes will be at the TVs.
I think I saw that. I think we tweeted. Did we not point that out? Oh, shit. Did we?
I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but still, either way, just in case you wanted to see them, there's still tickets available for the TV taping, so you could be ahead of it all. But that's what.
Nice. Yeah, I saw saw some people guessing about it, Doc, but I don't know that it's ever been like formally said. But
well, I saw on official NWA socials. Those guys do a great job, by the way, whoever that is. I saw today an ad. No, maybe it was on. Yeah, I'll hold off on that. No, it was on NWA USA. It was on NWA USA. Yeah, they had they showed an image of the tapings, and at the top were the Briscoes, and I was like, oh.
Well, I'll tell you a little secret about this that I know. the main reason you see that, this is behind the scenes crap that you only get here on this show, is that image is just the same image that's used for the Crockett Cup, but the Crockett Cup logo is swapped with the NWA logo.
You know way too much about this.
If nobody noticed that, now they're going to.
You can't give away this.
You don't need to know how the sausage is made.
Yeah.
I'm sure all 12 people watching are going to be really like
75 watching right now, and John Gaunt says, "Yep, show's already off the rails."
That's right.
Hey,
I want to give a big shout out right now to one of my favorite tag teams right now. The one team that, as I've been doing my analysis, I think might just shock a lot of people. And I'm talking
just
about
so there's no surprises.
Than the Ill Begotten. Oh, come on. I was gonna say this.
We read that one.
Yeah, just so you know where this randomly came from.
And
shout out to Alex
Misspocket.
Taylor of the Ill Begotten, though. And goodbye to Kyle.
Sorry, Kyle.
You could
Sorry to
mute
distribute.
it. You could mute it before you leave. That'd be cool.
Can we do that? We can do that, right?
It's,
We can
sensitive.
do that.
Yeah, I got it.
Kyle is being fired.
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
being. He just got a call. He's like, "Oh snap!" It's WPC.
Scott says I'll be at Crockett Cup Sunday only. Well, but sorry you can't be there other day, Scott. It's going to be fun either way. Sunday's an excellent night to choose though, because the Sunday night you got every single NWA championship is on the line. Every single one. And of course, including the finals of the Crockett Cup. So going to be fun. So anyway, the Ill Begotten, they're going to be facing Doug Williams and Harry Smith in the very first matchup. In fact, I think if I look hard enough, I have this we could throw up there. So there you go. That's one of the first round matchups on March 19th is the Ill Begotten and Doug Williams and Harry Smith. So
the question is, Gary, what combination of the Ill Begotten are we talking about? Because are we looking at Freeburg rules here? I mean, you got those four, and then you've got any other number of possible options. We know it probably aren't going to be the Fixers because they're advancing, but who knows? It might be Doc Deals.
Are you guys officially in the Ill Begotten?
I'm not going to say yes, and I'm not going to say no, but I'm especially not going to say yes. Think about it.
I can picture Doc in the Ill Begotten. I can totally picture him running around with Danny Deals training outside of a storage unit. I mean, really, it could be any of those four men, but I've seen Plunkett. Oh, he's one of the gentlemen that I've seen training hard with Deals. And I mean, if you're going to pick Danny Deals as the guy who's going to get you ready for any sort of fight, you know, more power to you. I wish you the best. You're making poor choices.
What about the shirt on you?
Yeah, that's harsh.
Also, sorry I had to step away for a minute. I got a call from Chicago and I panicked and I thought,
yeah, we
president
knew
of
what
the
it
NWA
was.
calling? I was like, oh no, it wasn't him. It wasn't him, but I was like, what did we say? What did we do?
It's like, end it right now.
I called it making a joke about it. And then as I said it, I was like, God, I really hope it's not like we didn't just say something that he's like, nope, off, cut it right now. All right.
I'm like, man, I've only got
secret about the promo.
I got a week to go, man. I couldn't last one more week.
Oh, Doc, you're spoiling the big surprise. But for everybody who doesn't know, this is Doc's next to last time with us. Doc is leaving us, guys.
Yeah, man.
He is bailing on the Bearded Trio. So I guess since you said that, we might as well bring it up.
That's why I'm here. I'm trying to learn from him in the meantime. You know when they do that thing where you take a new job, how they always make you shadow somebody first? I'm shadowing Doc so I can become the contrarian of the group going forward.
Yeah. Contrarian, not really contrarian.
Well,
I heard this. Yeah, I'm not the contrarian.
I believe contrarian is one that disagrees with everybody who's
I'm the voice of
disagreeing with you now.
I know. Like, what the? Actually, I'm doing what he does. This is perfect. It's working. You're rubbing off on me.
You're hired.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
It's this. Look, I'm going to be leaving the show as a regular guest. I'm still going to be lurking in the shadows. You guys know that in my day life, I'm a public school administrator. It's taking up lots of time, and I'm taking on some additional district level responsibilities. And I just can't. The NWA deserves someone that can really devote themselves in a way that I'm not going to be able to. But I'm still going to be here. I still plan on coming on every few weeks or so if they'll have me. I'm still a part of TIPW. We're hoping to get back to the history podcast. You'll still see me at the shows. You'll just see me on this side of the curtain. I'm still the NWA's #1 fan. I'm not going anywhere. All's good. And one day, maybe when things kind of sift out, at the NWA or at Walker County Schools, maybe I'll be able to come back in and on a more regular basis. But Gary and Will are my brothers. They need somebody that can devote more time and energy but I'm not going anywhere. I'm still here. I'm still accessible. You'll still see me from time to time, like Sting in the Rafters. I'm still going to show up and check in and
hit somebody with a baseball bat, hit a reverse
DDT.
DDT. That's Doc in a nutshell.
Perfect.
We should definitely try to get a shot of Doc in the Rafters over the next weekend so that we can just play that every once in a while.
And just to confirm, this has nothing to do with your outstanding lawsuit against Scion, right? The legal battle you guys are having.
No, that's an ongoing matter, and that may or may not have something to do with
Let's
it.
not talk about that right now. I don't want you to blow up your spot and ruin the possibilities.
And Kyle's about to get another phone call about that too, so we better.
I mean, at the end of the day, how you sue a man who we have no idea who he is under the mask or anything, what is his lineage as far as parentage goes. The fact that you were able to find a way of suing somebody who's a mystery is pretty impressive.
It is weird that you found his name, but people don't know this. A lot of people don't know this, but if you've ever seen us at shows, a lot more responsibility goes into this than just show it up here. Is something happening? Is it what is that?
The dogs or the noise?
The noise. I thought it was like, was that
like a hurricane warning or something?
I thought it was like
on the opposite side of the house. There's some drilling going on. You just hear like,
yeah, it sounds like
that's what it is.
Gabriel blowing the horn. It's time to go. Like this is it. But anyway, all right.
But that's it, man.
It's literally way on the other side of the house. So
you have a good mic.
Okay, well,
or a bad mic.
All right. Well, this show's off the rails, and these people are here to see somebody cooler than us. So we will definitely talk about something different on the other side of this ad. We're going to be talking about the Junior Heavyweight Championship, so get ready for that.
The landscape of professional wrestling is changing, and we strive to be at the forefront of that change. Introducing NWA All Access, a brand new service from the National Wrestling Alliance and FITE. For an annual subscription of just $49.99 a year, you'll gain access to every NWA pay-per-view, early access to NWA Powerrr, NWA USA, and special FITE exclusive content. To subscribe, visit FITE.tv today. That's FITE.tv. Why bother with monthly subscriptions when 1 year does it all?
Bro, my headphones went out like right as that was going on. I don't know. My AirPods just decided they didn't want to be on anymore. So
that's why I always tell people I never use any form of technology at all.
Was there a point, Garrett, where you were thinking your headphones still weren't working because you saw my lips moving, but you didn't hear any noise?
For a brief second. All right, let's get serious.
Messing with the host.
All right. The big thing is next weekend in the Crockett Cup. I mean, a lot of people are talking about, obviously, they're talking about the Crockett Cup Tag Team Tournament. They're talking about the World's Heavyweight Championship is on the line. Matt Cardona defending against Nick Aldis with Jeff Jarrett as a special guest referee. And we can talk about all that some other time because right now, the big thing we want to talk about, history, people. This is being made at the Crockett Cup on March the 20th. You will find out who will be the brand new NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion. This is a big fatal four-way match. You saw the whole tournament take place on NWA USA, and the people that advanced to the finals, Austin Aries, Colby Corino, Darius Lockhart, and that is, I'm using the wrong one here somehow. He is going to kill me. I don't know how this one got in here. It is H-A-R-T. H-A-R-T. I swear that was not planned. I have no idea how that one's in here. And then Homicide is going to be here. And
take note, Kyle, did you see what just happened? Just while you're watching and shadowing here, take note on that because
I deleted that one from my socials, so there was no way.
I thought I deleted it too. And there's no worse time to do this because, Darius Lockhart is.
You know what the good news is about this, though?
And at least
it shows because this man has a lot of heart, and that's why everybody always misspells it that way. That's all. And then as time goes on, and if he wins this championship at the pay-per-view, I have a feeling nobody's going to ever get this name wrong again.
No,
shouldn't have got it wrong the first time, guys. But I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much for that good save on the introduction. Nice on your feet, Kyle. That's why you're next in line for this job that Doc is not going to be here for. Also, Doc, sorry to see you go.
I'm still here, man. I'm still here, and I'm still rooting for you, Darius.
Well, I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. We need everyone in our corner that we can have. How everyone doing today?
Doing fantastic. Thank you for joining us. And I'm really happy that you're going to give this opportunity, because I think one of the things that's happened as the card has been released is people have kind of, not forgotten, but it's kind of gone to the wayside that this junior heavyweight tournament is happening. Everybody's talking about the tag team tournament, but you managed to make it to the finals on this, and that's an accomplishment in its own right. And here you are, the chance for gold in the NWA. You're a fresh new face here. You already have the opportunity to change everything.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm here to do. That's what I came here to do. When I first spoke about the NWA publicly, I laid my claim to coming for the World's Heavyweight Championship. But the underlying fact was that I could change the NWA for the better. I can help you guys lead to this change that you say you want to be. I watch All Access every week. You guys say you're trying to be a part of the change for the wrestling industry. And I do think you guys are that. But if I could provide a little bit of assistance, then allow me to do that. And I think that we can change this whole company from the ground up with me as a fresh face, but also the face of the NWA. I promise the junior heavyweight title is going to find its way around my waist. And when it does, there's going to be a power shift and the nation is going to change hands. You feel me? Land's definitely going to change hands.
I love hearing that. I love the energy you bring to everything, and it's been fun seeing you. And I guess before we advance any further, we've got another guy waiting in the waiting room right now. So Darius is only one of the people that is competing in this fatal four-way. Another one of these men, a legend in this business. I believe I've heard Eddie Kingston call him the King of New York, and he is here with us right now. And that is Mr. Homicide. Hello, sir. How are you?
What's up, guys? Thank you for having me.
Good to have you here. How much does this mean to you, Homicide? This match coming up, the Junior Heavyweight Championship. I know that there's a lot of history involved with that, and you're a man that respects history and legacy in the professional wrestling. So what does this mean for you?
Oh, it means a lot. I'm part of the history of the World Tag Teams. Now I'm getting involved with the Junior NWA contenders, and it means a lot to me. I'm going March 20th at Tennessee, Nashville, the Fairgrounds. I'm going to have 187% ready. I'm going to be ready. This means a lot. This means the world. A couple of times I'm not worried about going out there and getting gold. I'm not worried about gold because I'm over like that. You know what I mean? But now it's a different story. I want that strap. I'm not going to be here and be like, well, I'm going to win the title. And I'm very confident that I'm going to win the title. And we got truly great competitors in the wrestling ring. We got Darius Lockhart, we got Austin Aries, and Colby Corino, a man that hates his last name. But that's a different story. But I'm going out there March 20th this Sunday at the Crockett Cup, be 180%, and I'm ready for this.
I believe it. You sound like you're ready. Another person that you mentioned him, and I have to bring him up here, and he's actually joining us as well. We'll welcome to the show now also Mr. Colby Corino. Hello, sir.
Hello. You're lucky I had time to fit you in on my busy schedule. As you can see, I am here in my car traveling while all of y'all seem to be sitting at home, sitting on your lazy asses.
Wow, that's quite the intro. So the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship, this match, we've asked everybody else what it means to them, and I guess just the same thing to you. I mean, what does this mean for you to win this title?
When I was 12 years old, did you know that I became the youngest person, let me correct myself, to win an NWA sanctioned match? Did you know that? Did you do your research?
I've heard you say it before. So yes, I know that.
And then what about at 14 years old? Did you know that I already challenged for the NWA World Junior Heavyweight title?
Feels like something Doc would know, but I did not know that.
I feel like if Doc should know it.
Did you win?
I'm aware.
Did you win?
I was 14 years old, Darius. Shut up.
Then why are we talking about it?
Because I already have experience in world championship situations. Do you got experience in world championship situations?
I absolutely do. And I will Sunday, because they're going to make this thing a world title. Colby, you want to talk about the past all the time. You talk about what you've done, what you did at 14, you did at 9. What have you done lately? All you've done is ride and coast off of what your father has done, what you've done in the past. I need you to do it now. I need you to get things done Sunday. And I don't think you will, because you're standing across from two killers like me and Homicide. And if I don't get it, Homicide's probably going to get it. But I know damn well it's not going to be you, Colby.
Why do you say why the aggression towards Colby as far as that?
Yeah, well, why you get so mad at me, Darius? Come on.
To be honest with you, Colby, I'm not really upset at you. What I'm upset is this whole idea, this whole charade. That ever since I came to this company, I came with one of the hottest promos that this company's ever seen. But every time I log in, all I see is Colby Corino this, Colby Corino that. And you get on here, and the first thing out your mouth is an insult. You're in a car. Talking about you're traveling, we're sitting at home lazy. You don't even have the gall to prepare yourself for this interview. You probably forgot it was even happening. I respect as a title business. Everything comes to you naturally. I said before, you knock on the door, they open it wide in, they're waiting for you right there. Your name opens every door around here. I had to kick a door in to get here. I had to get here on myself, and you come here and you insult me and Homicide, a legend of the game. As soon as you step in, I was going to try to keep it calm, Colby, but your existence, it kind of irritates me. And we've been friends in the past, and I don't know where this attitude is coming from with you and the Fixers or whatever. But to come on here and insult us right away, immediately, I'm going to have to let you know exactly who you're dealing with, because I don't think people understand. Everyone's misspelling my name on the marquee. Homicide's in here talking about me like I'm an afterthought. Respect to Homicide, the god, but I'm really irritated because I really see like you're looking past me. That's why I have aggression.
I got to throw to Homicide here really quick. I mean, you see these two going back and forth. I mean, where do you feel disrespected at all that this conversation moved right into there, or that they're? I mean, obviously Darius is throwing you some love, calling you the god and everything, but. Just how's all
not
this?
Really. It's good to have confidence. I want. First of all, I'm very. It's funny that Colby Corino call us lazy and fat be home, but he's out there traveling. And he's gas prices going up, buddy. So you got to spend a lot of money, and I hope he's getting a flat tire when you travel. So you shouldn't be talking crap.
That's what I call for. I have my kid with me.
Mr. Lockhart, this is the man they just came for the NWA. We call him the underdog. We don't know nothing about this man. I know he won the tournament. He's going to be in the 4-way. Austin Aries. Where's Austin at? Where's Austin? He's in Hollywood, the greatest man in the world. Well, that's a different story. We got Colby Corino. Sneaky little bastard, that's what he is. He got his goons, the Fixers with him, And of course, you got myself, a guy who just don't care. He's going out there and try to win. So we got 4 great contenders going to this mount. And for that strap, it's coming home for me. So I don't know where Colby Corino is coming out saying he's going to win. Mr. Lockhart doing his respect, coming out here, very confident. But you're going to lose. And Austin, wherever you at, I know you're in Hollywood, you're going to lose too. We got history with each other. You're going to lose. So I can't wait for all 3 men come to the ring with that way and listen what happens this Sunday.
Homicide, with all due respect, you're old. Your time's passed. It's Colby Corino's time on Sunday.
Colby, you really think that? Like, I mean, you're talking about, you've seen Homicide. I mean, he's been in the ring. I mean, on NWA here recently. I don't feel like he's lost a step.
He hasn't wrestled someone like me in the NWA. Besides in that like 12-man team war little thing, that don't count. There's too many people in there for that to count. And not in a one-on-one or a one-on-one scenario. Homicide can't beat me. No doubt.
Again, I think that Darius said this. It sounds again like you're being overlooked. And I believe if we go back to the tape last week, I picked you as the man that I thought might walk away with the Junior Heavyweight Championship. So I'm telling you, I I'm on Team Lockhart all day on this one. Homicide, I respect the hell out of you. But frankly, you guys can't overlook the man right here. He's got drive. He's got all this. Colby, you're self-assured. You think you've got it all. I mean, that's going to bite you in the ass. Homicide, you're a legend. But at the same time, you're listening to these guys. Do you really think there's any relevance to what Colby's saying about you not having what it takes anymore?
Oh, not really. Why does everybody keep calling me old and I'm done? Like, I'm still alive. I'm the old man Logan of professional wrestling. People need to stop saying that I'm old. Whatever, that cheap heat, whatever you call it. That's like I'm from Russia and I'm going to invade the NWA. Oh, stop it right there with this old crap. You make me sick right now.
Let's not bring in Natalia Markova into this.
I can't wait for Sunday. Whoever gets it, they're gonna get it. Cop killers for everybody. Why not?
Well, first of all, I agree with any man calling this finish the cop killer. Honestly, on the side, I got a lot of respect for you. But to be real, I wouldn't dare call you old because you got to the finals. You were the first one to log your name in the finals. So your age, your credibility, your experience. It doesn't negate what you bring to this match. It amplifies it, if anything. But I will say, it's time for you to move out the way, sir. With all due respect, I've been watching you for a very long time. I have a lot of respect for you, Homicide. You are everything they say you are, and I give you the credit. But it's also time for you to move out of the way. It's time for the land to change hands. When I say nation time, it's not just a cool catchphrase. It's not a T-shirt marketing, a slogan thing for the crowd to chant. It means something. When I say land to change hands, I'm going to submit my name amongst the greats of this sport, including yourself, Homicide. But like you said, you've done the tag teams. You've won the titles, X Division champion, tag team champion, Ring of Honor world champion. You've done it all. I know your resume. Me and Colby still have a lot to accomplish, and I am going to start my road to accomplishing that this Sunday. I want you to understand that loud and clear. With all respect, I'm not laying down for anyone.
Well, gentlemen, this is intense. And how did I guess that Darius? This we got you right there. I mean, what do you think about a guy like Austin Aries? He's not even we reached out to him to try to get him to show up. He seemed uninterested in talking to anybody or talking about anybody. I mean,
what's there to say? It's Austin Aries. I figured when you guys emailed us this, I figured he wasn't going to show up. He's Austin Aries. We all know his credibility. We all know his track record. Look, but yet again, he gets chance after chance, opportunity after opportunity. He still gets the opportunity. What's new? The old guard doesn't move out the way. The young guard scratches and claws. Some of the young guard gets opportunities from their dads. I don't know. But the rest of us don't want to show up, don't want to do the work. That's fine. Austin Aries, I get it. You're the greatest. You're amazing. You're fantastic. You are everything they say you are too. Honestly, I've watched you since I was 12 years old. But to think about, and maybe someone can record and show this to Austin if he has time. He'll probably skim through it. He probably will just tweet about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm not important enough for it. But Austin Aries, as great as you are, the problem is that you know it. Everyone knows that you know it, and that's why no one is behind you in this match. But it's not a popularity contest. He doesn't need to show up for work. We're not paid by the hour. We're not paid for this, sadly, unfortunately. But
pay for yourself.
And Austin Aries is going to get that this Sunday. So if he doesn't want to show up there, he can show up Sunday and end up with the same results, nothing in hand. How about that?
Homicide, you've got a lot of history with Austin Aries. Is this like par for the course for him? This is what you're used to?
I mean, everybody knows the way he is. Very talented. I'm not gonna kiss his butt or whatever, but the man, he won a lot of work. I was with him for years. I know his game. He's gonna come out this Sunday at the Crockett Cup and try to win that belt. But he's not. He's not going to win it, and I hope he's ready. He knows that he should be ready. I mean, he should be all confident. You can say he's the greatest man in the world, all this stuff. But I hope he's ready, because like I say, man, I'm going out there 187%. I'm not going to be one of those lazy workers out there. I'm going all out. And I hope all sailors, if you hear this on YouTube or the radio or NWA radio, he better be ready for this, you know. It's the long time. He should be ready. Maybe Colby Corino, all the confidence in the world, and I hate his guts, but I know he's ready. So this Sunday, fellas, everybody talking about the world championship, the 10 pounds of gold. Let's talk about the NWA Junior Division. That's what the people want to hear. And of course, they want to hear Homicide wins the belt. Just saying.
Yeah, we definitely see it in the chat, and a lot of people rooting you on Homicide. I will throw to Colby. You've been able to stay quiet here for a little bit. I'm curious. I know you've got the rep of a lot of people have called you the next Austin Aries or something like that, I think. And so
whoa. I thought you were going to say the next NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion, not the next Austin Aries. Who wants to be the next Austin Aries?
Well,
Continue.
Well, I just you mentioned this the other day in a promo, and I just we're in a conversation, interview, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. And then I guess is this the first time you faced him in the ring?
Austin Aries?
Yeah.
First time I've wrestled him on a show. He actually taught me how to run the ropes, so not super unfamiliar with him.
Okay. I'm hearing what could possibly be a third-generation superstar in the background here.
Oh yes, he is on the road with me this weekend. You can say hi to Orion.
See, this is nepotism right here. Your father brought you at that age to wrestling shows, trained you from the day. Now you're doing the same. It's an unfair advantage that you guys are just trying to have this legacy. It's not right. It's not right.
Oh yeah. Oh. And now he's going to be able to see what it's like to have his dad be a champion, just like I was. Oh no.
Well, I guess
sorry, technical difficulties. Trying back.
By the way, I just got word from Austin Aries. He told me that it's okay to say this. He did want to jump on, but unfortunately he has a family obligation of a very dire kind that he's taking care of. So it's not that he's showing disrespect or anything, gentlemen. It's just literally he had somebody pass in his family that he's dealing with right now. But he says he's going to be ready for the pay-per-view and that he respects all your opinions. But as you've said, he is the greatest man that ever lived. So I don't know what that means.
Well, my condolences to Mr. Aries, and I apologize for the accusation. And I hope it's but either way, he's going to have to bring it Sunday. I'm looking forward to doing battle with you, walking out still as the junior heavyweight champion, the new junior heavyweight champion.
Colby, are you really on the road, or did you bring your kid just for sympathy?
Oh no, I am 500, 600 miles away from home. I'm in New Jersey. Not exactly going to tell you what show I'm at tonight, but I can promise you it's streaming live. If you subscribe to something, you'll probably won't be watching it tonight. So.
Okay. All right.
I got to respect the fact that you're plugging at least where you are. A lot of people don't do that in this day and age. And for young wrestlers coming up, it's always important to make it known where you're going to be, because no matter where you're seen, you can make a fan of somebody and they can follow you anywhere. So I think you're doing the right thing there.
And don't worry, I'm going to return the favor tonight. I'm going to let them all know about the Crockett Cup and when we're going to win the NWA World Junior Heavyweight title tonight, too, at this show.
Okay, well, I guess just so we don't hold you guys up and respect your time, gentlemen, Colby, sit your main screen right this second. Just, I'll give you just a minute or two here if you want to have any last things to say before we wrap this up with you guys.
All right, so I know I come out here with a lot of bravado. I come out here and I talk a lot of trash on everybody. But the reality is that the three men I'm stepping in the ring with are not tin cans. They're not fishes. I'm going to have to work pretty hard to beat them. But I'm fairly confident that I'm going to be able to do it. I've been working harder than I ever have. I'm going to show up in the best shape of my life. And I'm just going to beat them. That's all there is to it. And I'm gonna claim my destiny as a world champion.
All right, and Mr. Lockhart, we'll throw to you, and just so you know, the graphic has been fixed. We did get that fixed while we were on here, and so your name is spelled properly. Apologize for that again. But any last things you want to say to the other three gentlemen here?
Well, first off, I'll say the graphic. You fixed it. I appreciate it. But as long as the nameplate after Sunday says Lockhart correctly, that's what I'm really concerned with. We're going to make sure it says that after Sunday. Like Colby said, I say how I feel a lot, but I'm not going to disrespect the caliber of the talent that I'm in the ring with. I've already given flowers to Homicide. I've already given flowers to Austin Aries. Colby, I've called you out on your BS, but honestly, dude, you are talented. You do have what it takes. I'll give you that. That's why it's so frustrating when me watching the fixers do things for you. But guess what? You're going to be there with 3 other men, like you said, some of the best in the world. We're going to really get to see what you're made of, Colby. And then the world gets to see what I'm made of. And look, if I win, you guys can fight it out and see who gets the first title match out of me. How about that? Then I'll be generous and then give something for that. But other than that, I'm looking forward to taking care and stepping in the ring with the Hall of Famers and legends like Homicide and walking out the victor. That's what's impressive to me. I'm going to make sure this land changes hands. And when I say nation time, the crowd's going to lift their fists up and say it right along with me.
And Homicide, out of respect, I'm letting you go last here. Just any final thoughts about this upcoming matchup at the Crockett Cup?
I love the confidence on Mr. Lockhart. My condolences to Austin Aries and his family. But if you get with that 450 Brave Buster, I'm going to punch you in your face. Colby Corino, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that gas prices is up. I hope you get a flat tire. You got your beautiful baby. I hope it does. I'm sorry. Bob's not going to break your legs this Sunday. So this Sunday, we're going to see the NWA Junior Contender. Whoever wins, it's going to be one winner. One win. And we're going to see a champion. This will be myself. So, guys, good luck. I'll see you Sunday, Nashville, Tennessee, March 1920. Also, watch out for the Crockett Cup. The best tag team is not them boys. It's not the Fixers. It's going to be Liberian. As like I said, that's a different story. So, people out there, get your tickets and free Kane.
There you go. That's the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship Final 4-way match that's taking place on the second night of the Crockett Cup, March 20th. That's one I think a lot of people are looking forward to. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. We appreciate you being here. All right.
I think that match is going to steal the show. I remember being young, watching 1990 WCW pay-per-views, and the thing that would always hit me at the beginning were those cruiserweight matches. They just grabbed you right away. The action was something that was unparalleled, and I think this is going to be one of those situations. I think we're going to see something that we're not used to. I think we're going to see a brand new era being formed for the junior heavyweight division in the National Wrestling Alliance.
Yeah, I think you're right, Kyle. I think this is one of the matches I'm most looking forward to as well. All 4 of these guys, I love watching them in the ring. I love the personalities of all 4 of them, even Colby Corino's. And I guess I appreciate that he's got that attitude. And so I can't wait to see them all just clash. I know there's just a lot of differences in personality in that ring.
Yeah, it's 4 super talented individuals. All of them deserve an opportunity. Some of them have been given opportunity in the past, but when you're coming down to personality, I mean, again, I'm going to stick with this. I'm not going to ping pong, flip flop, whatever you call it. I'm going Lockhart. I think Lockhart's the future.
I think it's really an extraordinary. Anytime you have the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship defended, that's a historic event. Obviously, the Crockett Cup is rooted in history. But what a lot of people don't know, they will know if they've listened to us for some time, is that in the original founding 9 principles of the NWA, 2 championships were established: the World's Title and the Junior Heavyweight Championship. It's rooted in the company as far back as 1948 and even before that. And I appreciate the personality and attitude that all 4 gentlemen bring to this. Austin Aries, obviously one of the most respected men in the world. Homicide, a living legend, maybe the most dangerous guy in pro wrestling. Darius Lockhart, we saw him back in the NWA making a backstage appearance several months ago, and everybody was whispering, "Oh, that's Darius Lockhart. What does his presence mean here?" His appearance has been one of the most anticipated in the NWA. And then Colby Corino. If you cannot, when I think of the word prodigy, I think of people like Kenzie Page. I think of
Tootie Lynn.
Tootie Lynn. And then obviously Colby Corino. He is a blue blood in the sense that there's definitely the genetics that he brings to it, but he has staked his own path, and he is not. A lot of people, make a big deal about him being a son of a former NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, but you know who doesn't make a big deal about that? Colby Corino doesn't. He's seeking to carve his own path to win respect and legitimacy as a world caliber competitor in his own right. And honestly, guys, I think he's already done that. I think he's earned the respect of the world, and he's earned the right to have a little bit of attitude and some gumption. My pick for this whole tournament has been Homicide, but I'm going to tell you right now, all four of these gentlemen deserve to be in this. And this NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion that's about to be crowned is going to be one for the books, and it's going to be worthy of our adulation and praise, and I can't wait to see it. I, for one, am looking forward to this maybe more than any other thing except for Nick Aldis reclaiming the throne.
Well, of course you would say that. Will, you've been quiet up there, buddy. How are you feeling about this whole thing after those four guys, or the three of the four guys, came on here, and what do you think is going to happen on Sunday, or Sunday?
Well,
Monday. I don't remember.
Yeah, Sunday. Well, I mean, as we know, it's going to be history. I think that's the heaviest thing on my mind is that, you know, we're going to have a new NWA junior heavyweight champion, and that's a big deal. And I really, you know, we watched this tournament play out on NWA USA. We've seen these guys week in and week out. You know, as you've mentioned, you know, Darius Lockhart, he's newer to the NWA. We haven't seen as much of him, but the dude, you know, he's been around. He knows what he's doing. He's earned his spot. I mean, I wouldn't even call it a shock or an upset or anything that he ended up in this final four-way, because he deserves to be there. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, you know, as everyone said, obvious respect to Homicide and what he's accomplished in wrestling. I don't by any means think he's old or outdated or can't win it. Just after hearing from everybody and my experience seeing these guys in the ring, I just feel like Colby's got that edge. Colby has, you know, he hasn't necessarily been in the NWA longer than Homicide, but as far as in-ring experience and winning and his overall record, I mean, that dude has come into the NWA and he has seemingly, you know, been in the ring week in and week out. I mean, yeah, he talks a lot, but from where I'm sitting, he backs up that talk a lot of the times and he comes out with a win. You know, we might not love the way he does it, but he finds a way to make it happen. So I feel like on Sunday, in my book, the edge goes to Colby. I think that's what we're going to see.
Man,
can I add one other thing, Gary, before
yeah.
You say what you, I just want to piggyback a little bit on what Will was saying. I think there's something to be said for the fact that, you know, Colby came in with all this bravado and attitude and this and that, and all the gentlemen had something to say. But this is what the NWA is about. It's wrestling as it's meant to be. When all the dust settled in this conversation we just had, all three of them acknowledged in the presence of their competitors the respect that they had for each of them. You saw Darius Lockhart, you know, say, look, all you guys are all credible opponents. If I'm going to win it and I'm going to win it, I'm going to have to earn it. You saw Colby Corino, even Colby Corino at the end of the day had to pay his dues and respect to Darius Lockhart, to Austin Aries, and to Homicide. And then, of course, Homicide as well. This is the NWA. This is, again, this is the manifestation of the one true sport. These guys have a lot of skin in the game. They all have a ton of confidence, but at the end of the day, they recognize the level of competition that makes the NWA the absolute premier promotion in the world. And I'm going to tell you right now, you put these four guys in the ring, I put any one of them against any competition in the world. So I just wanted to acknowledge the fact that they acknowledged each other. I think there's something to be said for that.
Well, I've 100 times over been vocal about my support for Darius Lockhart. That's why I'm even more embarrassed that I had the graphic that messed up his name. And it's just, I love that guy. I think he's got a bright future. And from the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship and beyond, whatever he wants to do, I think he's got the ability to accomplish it. I think Colby's well on his way, and he'll pull out any tricks in the book to get it done. I guess just to be difficult, I'll point out again, though, that everybody's bouncing around here talking about this matchup and nobody's talking about Austin Aries. And I don't get it, man. You're talking about a guy who you want to talk main stage, top tier player. Austin Aries is that guy. Austin Aries is a former X Division champion. Austin Aries is a former world champion in Impact and Ring of Honor. He's been in the WWE. He's been to everywhere. And I just, I mean, if you want to talk about a guy who's going to keep a level head during this, I mean, we could write a book or spend at least a couple hours here talking about all the things I disagree with Austin Aries on. But the one thing I have to agree with him on is he gets it done wherever he goes, and he becomes a champion wherever he goes. And I'm sure that that was the first thing on his mind when he walked into the National Wrestling Alliance. And I'm not going to be surprised to see it happen on Sunday.
So here's what I heard, Gary. I heard through that whole list of accolades and all that. Basically, now we've been listening tonight to people talk about Homicide being old. I just heard you say that Austin Aries was old. That's what I heard out of all that.
No. Season.
No. Play back the tape. I just heard you call Austin Aries old.
I don't feel like I've called anybody old here tonight.
So I've known Austin Aries. I'm
you're
not
the
old.
one that's
Hold on,
retiring
real
from
quick.
the show, so take that as you will.
I'm not old, and I don't want this to be misconstrued, though. I'm not old, but I've known Austin Aries for many years. We both were in the same company a while ago, and I can tell you that, Gary, if you upset him, he has one of the most violent overhand chops. He's left-handed. The man had a baseball background. I'm just letting you know, watch out for that, because if he doesn't like what he hears, you're going to feel that.
Well, it's something for everybody to look forward to on Sunday.
Oh.
Not me, thankfully, but
No.
Whenever trouble is near, Gary is out the door, man. Quick.
Doc's never going to let that go that Scion attacked him. And
I'm looking at the chat, and it does feel like the chat is split, that anybody could win this four-way match. So it's good to see that across the board. There's no dark horse candidate. There's no favorite to win. It seems like everybody's on even playing ground, and anything can happen, which is the way I like my title matches, where anything can happen.
It's hard to argue that this could be the most exciting match on the Crockett Cup, and that's saying something because this card is stacked. It's full of awesome matches.
How stacked is it?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. When we get back from this break, we will talk about how stacked it is, and we will run through everything on the card and talk about each match and get our predictions. But more importantly, you guys at home, your predictions. So stay in the chat and come back with us. We want to hear what you guys think about the Crockett Cup and who's going to win each match. We'll run through them when we come back.
You can accomplish anything.
All you have to do is put in the work.
I suppose it makes the most sense to I ended that commercial early. I think that was my fault. But anyway, I suppose that makes the most sense to talk about the fact that the World's Heavyweight Championship is on the line on March the 20th. Matt Cardona defends that title against Nick Aldis. Jeff Jarrett, the special guest referee, he's had a lot to say on his podcast, and it's going to be interesting. He has history with both men. And well, let's hear it, fellas. I guess let's throw to you first, Kyle. I feel, well, you know what? Let's throw to Doc first because we know where Doc's going to land. So, how you feeling about this matchup?
It's a big match, man. Anytime I feel like there have been a lot of matches that many of us have been emotionally invested in. We feel like there are high stakes. I think at NWA 73, I thought there was a lot of investment in that. I think all of us, I think we got to the point, Kyle, where the three of us couldn't even talk, man, because we were so divided, like emotionally, on how this should bear out and where we thought it should land and what was good for the NWA. But it's been a long time since we've seen something where the NWA itself is defined by something. Like, what is the NWA going to mean going forward? We see Matt Cardona, and no disrespect to Matt Cardona, he's holding the most prestigious trophy in the world. He earned it legitimately. But he refers to us as the NWA universe, not the hashtag NWA fam. I mean, he's trying to recreate the NWA in a form and in a way that is I guess foreign to us. He's trying to recreate the NWA in his own likeness. I'm not saying that's a terrible thing. I'm just saying it's different. And for as far as I'm concerned, the NWA, as with Trevor Murdoch as champion, with Nick Aldis as champion before him, Tim Storm before that, Cody Rhodes before that, all the way back to Orville Brown. The NWA it's a meta promotion. You don't recreate the NWA in your own image. The NWA, it's a para promotion. It transcends pro wrestling. It's the greatest promotion in the world. This is why I love it so much. This is it's not like I'm going to tune in to this thing that's this multi-billion-dollar corporation who can draw up anything. The NWA is something that's universally respected. It reaches back to the foundations of the sport, back to the days of the shadows with guys like William Flagg and Farmer Burns and all that. And people that win this trophy carry that weight on them. Now, something happens to somebody when they win it. And maybe that's happening to Cardona because, Cardona has laughed and he's joked about putting spinner plates on the belt and purple stripes. And I think part of that is just to stoke the social media audience and to troll a little bit, which is what he is. He is a living, breathing troll. But still, I think there has to be something or someone to stand up and say, look, we're not playing fun and games here when it comes to this trophy. There has to be a certain reverence when you hold it. Nick Aldis always conducted himself that way. Trevor Murdoch conducted himself that way. All the greats who held it, Ric Flair, Jack Briscoe, Harley Race, Dory Funk Jr., Whipper Billy Watson, all of them, Luthez, they all held this with a certain esteem and reverence. And I think that's what's on the line at the Crockett Cup this time. We have really the definition of the company, the very idea that our company is rooted in something that's bigger than any one person. That's what it's about. And that's something that I don't think that Matt Cardona sees, because frankly, I don't think Matt Cardona sees that anything is bigger than him. And if you're going to hold this trophy, that's something that you must embrace. There's nothing wrong with being confident. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I'm the best in the world at what I do. But there is something wrong with saying that I'm bigger than the company. And that's what I hear Matt Cardona saying. I tried to defend him. You saw me out here trying to justify some of his antics early on, but I had to drop all that because there's only one man right now who can restore the honor, integrity of the lineage of this company, the linealness of this championship and this trophy, and redeem it. Right now, the NWA does need saving, and only one man can do it, and that is Nick Aldis. And that's what's going to happen this weekend at Crockett Cup.
All right. If you had asked me 2 months ago, if Matt Cardona becomes NWA World Champion, how do you feel about the future of the NWA? I would tell you that it was shaky at best. I'd have a lot of concerns about it. I make a living from the National Wrestling Alliance. I rely on that. And to think that somebody can come in and destroy my ability to make a livelihood by burying my company would scare the hell out of me. Inversely, Matt Cardona, the reality is he is NWA champion right now. We've heard him talk about putting spinners, like you said, and all this stuff, but he didn't. He didn't do any of that. You said he's a troll. I think you're right. But a troll says things to get people fired up. He doesn't actually act upon those things. You look at this man, he is a wrestling fan at heart. He goes out of his way to recreate moments that he grew up with that helped shape him as a human being. He's 6-belt Matty C right now. He's got championships all over the place. The man, I had concerns. I don't think he's bad for business, as they say. I haven't seen him try to drop the title into a garbage can like I thought might happen. Thankfully, he didn't look up at the sky like Shane Douglas did and say thanks and start doing that. He did none of this. The man has been, whether you like him or not, hasn't done anything to deface this championship thus far. So I really think that in a normal situation, Nick Aldis, the legacy and everything, he's somebody who we know he's a given, just solid factor of what the future is going to be. One-on-one, who knows what would happen? Matt Cardona cheats. Matt Cardona has cheated. Matt Cardona has the Cardona family, all the other people. But now we also have Jeff Jarrett. And I don't know anything about how Jeff's feeling about this, really. The man grew up in this business. We talked about second-generation stars before. Jeff is somebody that you never know where he's really coming from, because whatever he's going to tell you is what he's thinking is best for business, and that business is Jeff Jarrett. He could change everything here. I think at the end of the day, Matt Cardona as champion has the advantage going into this. Nick Aldis has the ability as a former champion with that experience. But Jeff Jarrett, if he decides not to call this down the middle, can change NWA history for better or for worse, no matter what you think. My money's on Cardona as long as Jeff doesn't screw him.
No. So first of all, let me play contrarian here. Now, he did deface the company when he dared to, in the same breath, say, "Oh, he's the king of this, but I'm the king of the death match." He demoted the legacy of Harley Race. So let's not say he didn't deface the company.
He's trolling. You're falling for it. He's trolling you. He's getting a reaction.
He defaces. That's what trolls do. Yeah, he got my reaction because what he said was disrespect. I could come on right now, Kyle, and say any number of things to troll somebody and it would get me canceled. Saying that in the same breath with Harley Race should get him canceled. That's what should happen.
I think you're proving this point right here. He's getting you to talk about him. If you're the NWA champion and everybody's talking about you, you are doing something right. Right or wrong, as far as you think you agree with how he's going about it. Matt Cardona is making the most of his championship opportunity. And I say run with that as far as he can go. Nick Aldis can beat him at any time, I believe in my heart of hearts, without Jeff Jarrett involved. Jeff Jarrett's involved in the Crockett Cup. I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying I think Cardona walks with the championship.
Let me just ask this. Let me clarify here because let me make sure I heard what I think you said. You said it is fair game for him to say anything he wants to as long as it gets attention. That's what you said.
I mean, let's face it. We've seen plenty of people in entertainment and politics everywhere else just say whatever the hell they want and become very successful for it. We were talking about Austin Aries before this junior heavyweight championship match. That man's synonymous with saying whatever he feels like saying at any given time. And to be honest with you, Nick's a great guy. Nick is a champion's champion, but you fanboy for him. And let's face it, Nick said a bunch of things that have gotten people fired up in the past too. Let's not just forget, we're looking at 3 people in this match. Matt Cardona, Jeff Jarrett, Nick Aldis. All 3 have not been the best human beings in the past or in the present or at any given time. We don't know what's going to happen.
Everything you used to describe Cardona at first, I was like, I think Aldis has done all of this. Like as far as say one thing and do another, or like let's not forget the deception of Tim Storm initially, and there's a side of Nick Aldis that is very capable of exactly the same kind of stuff. So, and he's very upfront. I'll give him this respectfully. You guys, I respect Nick Aldis, but he's straight up said, "I'm not your hero," and so don't expect Nick Aldis to pull punches or to be.
Let me jump in here. Let me jump in here and shock the world and be on Team Doc here, because the one difference is that, and if you can go back and find me tape of this happening, I will admit my fault and my wrong. I don't think Nick Aldis has ever said anything disparaging about the National Wrestling Alliance. I don't think he's ever said anything and Cardona hasn't outwardly said anything disparaging about that title, but that title, the 10 pounds of gold, Sweet Charlotte, that represents the National Wrestling Alliance. That is the ultimate prize. And when you talk about the NWA, you're ultimately talking about that title. So to come in here and say that the company that this title represents that I hold, oh, it needs saving, it's boring, it's irrelevant, it's old, it's outdated. That to me is something that Nick Aldis never came close to doing. And so, yeah, maybe I didn't always agree with his tactics. Right. Maybe I didn't always agree with, how he won matches or every single thing that he said. But at the end of the day, and we've talked about this a lot, it's well documented. At the end of the day, nothing but respect from Aldis. We talked about it earlier with the 4 guys in the junior heavyweight match. I mean, there's a respect. You don't have to like somebody to respect them. But what I hear from Cardona is a lack of respect. That's different. He's not coming out saying like, hey, I respect the NWA, but I want to try something different. He's not saying that. He's disparaging the company itself. And yeah, it may get people talking, but if we're talking about Cardona versus Aldis, I don't align with you guys in the fact that Aldis has done the same thing. I wouldn't say that.
Well, let me say this really quick then, because, and again, I'm devil's advocating here. The thing is with Cardona, I think Kyle put it really well. It was exactly a point I was thinking of. We've seen politicians do the very same thing. We've seen them just say a lot of stuff, just it's a fire hose of things come out of their mouth. And then the argument from the people that support said person would always be like, well, it matters what they do, not everything that they say. And so what can you say about what Matt Cardona has done? Since winning the title, he's carried that title to every place he's gone, worn it proudly, displayed it proudly on every interview. He's talked about in interviews
I'll tell you what he's
repeatedly
done,
about
Gary.
how much he values that title and that he's not really going to change it, that he
No, I'll tell
respects
you
it.
what
He
he's
knows the lineage of it.
Let me defend this. Let me defend myself real quick because I just feel like this is. Listen, I think he said whatever he felt he had to put himself in a position to become NWA champion. I think that there's one thing when you say it and there's another what you do. And I think he's playing all of us. I think he loves being NWA champion and he respects the hell out of that lineage. I think he's working us all, as the kids say. And second part, I'm sorry, I'm a little biased. We talked about NWA 73. Nick Aldis punched me in the face at NWA 73. So Matt Cardona's never punched me in the face.
Not yet, not yet. And I may be the Nick Aldis fanboy. God forbid I be the fanboy for the man who had the most consequential World's Heavyweight Championship reign in modern history at 1,044 days. But if I'm the fanboy, you're the company man. And of course you've got to defend Matt Cardona. He's the guy that your boss, WPC, brought in. So I know you're reading the company's script down there. And you're looking hold on now. So hold on now, Gary. Let me finish up here. But yeah, he did do something.
Which one of us has been drinking?
After winning, my man. Presbyterian brother every night. After winning the World's Heavyweight Championship, Gary, you were there. Will, you were there. You saw it. He dropped that belt on the ground so he could go pick up the internet title for a photo op. I saw him do that. And by the way, yeah, he may be trolling people, but when he says he's the king of the death match, and when he says he grew up being bored of watching the NWA on Saturday mornings in the 80s, he's either trolling. And if he's trolling, well, that you know what that means? That means he's lying. And if he's lying, that means he's a liar. And one thing Nick Aldis is not is a liar. There you go. Being the world's heavyweight champion in the NWA is like being a head of state. And there's a certain amount of decorum and respect you have to show. And only Nick Aldis and a man like Trevor Murdoch has done that and Tim Storm in the last few years. Save us, Nick Aldis.
Nick Aldis might not be a liar today, but that doesn't mean that 2 days ago he wasn't. Because let's face it, 2 days ago, my clock said something different. Just because it says a time right now doesn't mean in the past it was the same way. So let's just not rewrite history here. Listen, everybody in this match is flawed in their own way. Just because today Nick Aldis is the guy that's trying to save the company, I hope if he wins, everything is still fantastic. But all I know is I'm not seeing anything bad happening with Matt Cardona yet. And until that happens, I got to give it an opportunity.
All right. Well,
the only good thing happening with Matt Cardona right now is Chelsea Green. That's the only good thing.
I think you might actually have just accidentally read my mind.
All right. Well, we could obviously talk about this forever. One thing, though, if you're looking forward to more from Matt Cardona and Nick Aldis, and you can't wait until Saturday or Sunday, then luckily for you, there is a brand new 10 Pounds of Gold episode coming out. And that is going to debut, I'm hearing, possibly Thursday. We'll wait and see for an official announcement from the NWA. But we've got a preview for it right here. And we'll talk about more of the Crockett Cup because we're in danger of doing the same thing we did last week this week. But we'll try to run down the rest of the show when we come back from this.
It's March 19th and 20th at the Nashville Fairgrounds. March 19th and 20th at the Nashville Fairgrounds. NWATix.com.
Several massive updates going into our historic weekend in Nashville, Tennessee.
The 2022 Crockett Cup.
We're going to talk about the NWA Crockett Cup, which is starting on March 19th.
Before the big event, March 20th, Nick Aldis versus Matt Cardona. We talked to special guest, referee Jeff Jarrett, right here on the Busted Open podcast.
Matt Cardona is demanding a special guest referee. I'm sure we'll have more updates on that on social media, but we are getting very, very close to the Crockett Cup. As a matter of fact, next time you see me, I'll be there.
I'm not coming unless, it's fair. Everyone's out to get me. Billy Corgan's out to get me. There needs to be, like, a special guest referee that I agree to, okay? This needs to be fair.
I think the first word that really popped in my brain was I was intrigued. I'm intrigued by the opportunity. I'm intrigued by the matchup. And in a lot of ways, the emotional connection that I have, that I think Nick has, and I think in a unique set of circumstances, maybe a newfound emotional connection to the NWA title that we all have. In 2022 Crockett Cup, for Jeff Jarrett to be involved in the NWA World Title match, that's intriguing to me.
It's intriguing to me too. Another thing that's intriguing is the fact
Oh,
that
no.
somehow during that trailer, Danny Deals
Keep this 4-box. I like this.
and he
I
disappeared.
Like this 4-box.
So
maybe he had to go make a deal somewhere. Maybe somebody gave him
there he is.
How'd you know it was me? I had my disguise on.
Oh, Danny Deals is here.
Please tell me that right now you're still training the Begotten somewhere in the middle of.
They're taking a break. I told Alex he's got to ask Yuma. Yuma claims he's their daddy, but Alex says that's not the case. Alex said he's the captain, so I'll let them hammer that out. They just came to me. They wanted some help. They knew that I was a former Icelandic television champion, and they knew that I could get their conditioning up.
Master of the two-toed Icelandic Redunza.
Well, I'm telling you. So, just trying to get them ready. Trying to get them ready for old Doug Williams, not the football player. And
we found that out.
Well, look at that. He's already ahead of the game now.
Yeah, well, you got to be ready for both. You never know which one's going to show up. So, I was just helping him out a little bit.
What do you guys
I want to live in your head. I want to see the world the way you do through rose-colored or whatever those are glasses.
Oh, well, I can give you a deal on these, and then you could wear them all the time. What do you think?
I just didn't mean to set you up for that one, but I should have known.
What do you think, Doc? What are you guys arguing about now this time?
Just a bunch of normal stuff. The normal stuff deals. Just a bunch of nonsense. I'm the voice of reason. I tried to tell them earlier on that, go wave your arms, Kyle. Deals knows what I'm talking about. He's listening to this.
Deals,
you're probably telling them that they're lucky that Doc Deals decided to not be in the tournament because we would have went all the way to the top. And you got to be generous sometimes and let other guys get in there.
Hey, and ill-begotten, they've been known to hire mercenaries, as it were. So
this
you never know.
Yeah, this is correct. So they'll be ready for Douglas and Harold.
Well, Deals, we're running down the Crockett Cup cards here. Welcome to be here and be a part of that. We just discussed Matt Cardona versus Nick Aldis for the World's Heavyweight Championship. Just real quick pick. Do you have a choice there on that one?
I don't know. I might take Cardona, but unless Nick's giving up points, I don't know. I've got to study that one a little bit more. I got a couple days left till I got to put the deals line up. So,
all right.
I'm ashamed that I agreed with him.
You never know because, and the Deals is familiar with old Jeffrey Jarrett, and he once put me in a neck brace for 6 years. And so trickery is afoot when he is around. So you never know. I don't know that's the wild card is the referee, isn't it? Is he there? Is he going to call it down the middle? Or, is he going to be crazy? I don't know.
That is going to be interesting. He's got history with both men. So I'm sure both, I don't know. It's haven't seen Matt complain too much about it. We saw Jeff escort. He did point out Jeff escorting Nick Aldis at All In.
He did
down to the ring.
He did.
So there is that part. So he's already setting the stage for collusion if he needs to use it, I guess.
Right. Well, if Nick can win the belt, as long as Chelsea can hang around, then I'm fine.
Yeah.
Here.
Well,
here.
I'm glad you said that because you guys, she's been brought up a lot. So I guess it's worth mentioning.
That's called a segue in the business.
Yeah. That was good job. Good job. Well,
Two wheels. Big match. 2 wheels.
I learned that from Kyle Lover. He is
We've talked about a lot.
Professional.
We've talked about a lot of World's Championship matches. I swear to God, I'm going to get this in at some point. And one of the big ones, some would argue, just like we did with the Junior Heavyweight Championship, this is the biggest one. It's going to be Kamille, NWA Women's Champion, the holder of the Burke. She's like Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. She's up there with that Burke and nobody can take it off her. And she controls the world, but she's got 2 challengers this time in a triple threat match. One of those big smiley Kylie Ray, who's been just blazing a trail through National Wrestling Alliance. And of course, the lovely Chelsea Green, who is in there because of her relationship with Matt Cardona. I guess there's no other way to put that. That's essentially what they said. William Patrick Corker said it was demanded by the Cardonas. And so representing here in this championship match, and I got to go here. I guess Danny Deals, you're going to roll with Chelsea as your pick on that one. Huh?
Well, that's the sugar pop. I mean, I'm calling for the upset. And also, I don't think you guys understand that the how legendary this would be. I mean, this is like Kurt Schilling with blood on the sock, right? This is up there with that. Jack Youngblood playing in the Super Bowl with a broke leg. Steelers beat him anyway because they were better, but so this is up there with that. So you gotta understand how legendary this would be. I mean, I could sell digital downloads and DVDs and Blu-rays of this legendary journey if she wins it. So we need her to win it. We can even make a T-shirt with her. We can make casts and people can buy them and she could sign them and all the kids can run around with casts on their hand at events. This is yeah.
This doesn't have anything to do with the weird way you've been like following her around backstage asking to film her all the time, is it?
No. What are you talking about? It's my sugar pop.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll go to you so you can have a chance to jump in here. I know you're not going to fight for it like me. So who you got in the women's championship match?
Oh man, it's a tough one. I mean, it's definitely a big deal, and we focus a lot on how Chelsea got into the match. I think she's worthy to be in the match. I mean, I think when you look at the landscape of the women's division right now, she's got a claim to be there, whether her husband's champion or not. She had a big match against Kinsey Page, who we mention a lot is an up and comer, and she won the Women's Invitational Cup at Powerrr. So I mean, there's a lot of NWA accolades to her name. So it's not off-putting to me that she's in the match in general. But I mean, at the end of the day, I've said this from the beginning. I just, even in a three-way match, even with the odds stacked against her, I don't see Kamille losing the title at this point. I don't, and there may never be a point where I see her losing the title, just to be honest. But I think, even in a three-way match, I think Kamille reminds us why she is where she is, why she's feared, why she's constantly defending successfully the women's world title all across the country, and she retains the title.
We could put on the back of Chelsea's T-shirt when she wins with a broken freaking wrist, right? She'll be in Kurt Angle atmosphere.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people talking about possible replacements for Chelsea Green, but if you missed that on social media, Chelsea's definitely not out of the match. She said she's coming in and she's winning with one arm. So
very courageous, don't you think, Doc?
Definitely courageous. Yeah, this is, who wins this match? The fans win in this match. We got three competitors, all three worthy of being this. My thing is this. I've done the algorithm. I've ran the numbers. I've ran them again and again and again. I've got the software. I bought the software from you, actually, Deals. Yeah. And it's a mathematical certainty. I don't see any person in the world, any way in the world that Kamille loses anytime soon. I think she's unbeatable.
Looks like the software worked different for Deals.
I mean, we've talked about this last week. Who's to even say Chelsea's really hurt? Who's to say that she wouldn't fake an injury? We made a comment about how low Colby could be, that he's trying to get sympathy to win a match because his son's in a video with him. But I mean, like, Chelsea, let's see her character. If you really want to believe what you say about Matt Cardona, if we really believe at face value Matt Cardona is as horrible as he says he can be at times just to fire people up, what kind of woman would be with a guy like that? A type of woman that would fake an injury just to have an advantage in a match. I mean, Chelsea could steal this one away.
Guys.
I don't believe bad that.
Guys. Look at my wife. They like bad boys.
I'll do you one better. Kylie Wright. Who's to say? We're talking about people that get overlooked in matches. Everybody's saying Chelsea's going to do this. Camille's unbeatable. Kamille has been unbeatable. I'll give you that much. But what about the person that's always overlooked? They come in, boom, this is a three-way match.
I bet you anything that
he doesn't even have to pin Kamille. What if Kamille loses this without even being pinned?
Kyle Davis just went and saw Batman, and he thinks he's the Riddler. That's what's going on right now.
I didn't go see it. 3 hours was too much for me.
I believe you. I don't think you could sit still for that long.
Well, I'll tell you what. Last week he was Two-Face. He changed his pick in the play-in about 15 times.
I got to stand up and say, and we want your opinions in the chat. Please bring them in. We want to hear everybody's. We're going to try to make sure they show up on the screen.
No, that's a hard soda. That's a seltzer that tastes like Diet Sprite. It's delicious.
I thought it was a green and silver can.
100 calories.
I see all of this talk about power couple stuff, and I get it. Cardona could retain, and Chelsea could win the Burke, and then you have a power couple, and everybody's talking about it's going to be, and then you got to have Nick and Mickey come in and save everything. That's fine. Y'all know I love some Mickey James. She's one of my favorite people, but let's not overlook Kamille and Tom Latimer. You want the possibility of a power couple. I mean, those two together, strictly business or no, those two together are in position to dominate everything. So I just want to toss that back out there into the chat for you guys.
Speaking of tossing things, I mean, last time I saw her, she tossed a towel in, and I don't know. How's that life right now if you all of a sudden had her to blame for something?
Saving him for bigger and better things.
Bold words from old K1 over there. Huh? I'm gonna tell Tomas you said that about it.
Because Tom Latimer is too stubborn to quit. Yeah. Kamille was making sure nothing broke so that he could come back and fight again another day. And he was in quite the predicament. I think she's thinking about his future, and Tom, we got to give it. Tom gets a little hot-headed in there, and so I think that's what happened in that matchup.
No. Yeah. Who'd you guys pick in the lightweight belt?
Well, I think we all picked someone different.
Were they all on here screaming at
Lockhart?
I went Lockhart, Doc went Homicide, Will went Colby, and I went Aries. So you could be the tiebreaker, Deals.
187. That dude's crazy.
My man. What?
He's crazy.
We ran the numbers, didn't we, Danny?
I'm telling you.
Well, it looks like the algorithm machine, it worked out in your favor this one time. So
they're all good. They're all good. Let's not get crazy about it. They're all good, but just Homicide's crazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes that overrides being good.
He's the kind of man who would be ready to just jump in the middle of a fight like this, like just four guys just trying to beat the hell out of each other, basically.
Somebody cut him off in the Continental Breakfast line at the last taping when he was going to get butter for his English muffin, and it was bad. So I'm just that's what I'm just saying.
But you're right, Danny. I mean, I think in a match like this, when we're not talking about a traditional one-on-one, or 2 out of 3 falls singles match, when you got 4 men in a match, I think being crazy plays to your advantage. So that might be the factor that puts Homicide over the top. I also think he is the most experienced in the season, prepared for this, but he is crazy. And in this particular scenario, I think that favors him.
And not George the Animal crazy, because that's Kyle. He chews on the turnbuckles when we go to commercial, for those of you out there who've never been in a taping.
Yeah, it's very.
I actually do chew on things every now and then, so that's a little close to home. Thank you.
Yeah, and referee Jared Fritz starts rubbing
soda caps. Nobody else chews soda caps like bubble gum?
No.
Is that weird?
That is weird. Moving on. We're running down these match 2 title matches. Another one. I keep saying like this could be the match of the night, and it's always true. It just always is. But we would be remiss not to discuss the national championship here for a second. The national heavyweight championship is on the line. Is the newly crowned champion, Anthony Crimson Mayweather, looking good with that belt too. Just a big, bold man with just that. A lot of people, that belt is so divisive, but I think it looks like $1 million with Mayweather. But of course, due to his rivalry with Jack Stane and the last time they met in a steel cage, Jack Stane has worked it out with his lawyers, thinks he deserves a shot here, and he's going to get it at night 2 of the Crockett Cup. This is a tough one. These two, when they go to war, they go to war. I'm looking at, I guess we'll throw to Doc first. Who are you thinking on this one?
Oh, no doubt about it. Jack Stane walks out with the championship. He's been there before. He's held the crown before, the World's Heavyweight Championship. I think in match situations, unless there's slapping and chalk involved, Jack Stane has been on top of this the entire time, and I don't see any way a hungry Jack Stane, like I see him right now, loses this match. He walks out the national champion, the #1 contender to the World's Heavyweight Championship, setting up the ultimate dream match, Jack Stane versus Nick Aldis.
I mean, I really am shocked this match is happening because at the end of the day, last time I checked, there was supposedly a restraining order against Anthony Mayweather from Jax, but you saw it there when we were in Oak Grove. I asked him about it, and he said, I don't know what you're talking about, which means I got played when this lawyer showed up on Powerrr months back, gave me a piece of paper. I apparently just trust people that appear at the podium, which makes me feel stupid.
I called it out on Twitter, and I was informed by Chris Silvio that was a gag order for like slander. It was that Crimson had to not speak about Jax Dane.
And I believe it was the Ultimate Pusher Tyreek who introduced you to the lawyer there too, right?
That does make a lot of sense there. I got played. I'm lucky I didn't get sold a car while I'm at it.
Yeah.
But the truth is in this match, the truth of the matter in this match, you brought up that Jax, when Powder and all shenanigans have been involved, this is a one-on-one competition for the gold. I think that Anthony, there's no way, shape, or form, doesn't walk away with this. Even though, to be honest, I would love for Jax to win, because then I could just put a picture of me out there and pretend that that's me with a championship, and just online get some social clout for people that don't know me and be like, yeah, check out what I did. Because Jax, I like to say I'm mini Jax. But other than that, if Crimson wins, I can't pretend I'm Crimson. I'll never have hair or abs like that.
Will?
What?
Selfish, I know, but I'm just saying. Anthony, but I wish Jax.
Yeah, I mean, like I said last week, my opinion hasn't changed. I think this is a different Anthony Mayweather. We've seen him struggle. We saw Nick Aldis kind of talk some sense into him or motivate him on NWA USA a couple months back, and I think it's a different Anthony Mayweather. I think he's found his footing in the NWA, and he's done piddling around and having these random matches. I mean, he's a champion now. He's a national champion, and I think the stakes are different. I mean, yeah, in the cage match we saw last time we were in Oak Grove, Kentucky, it was brutal. There was a lot of personal animosity there. But I think at this point, Mayweather's walking in with a different level of confidence. At that point, he was kind of trying to find his way and find his footing, and I think he's found it. And he's got the belt to prove it at this point with a win over Chris Adonis, who was a respected, accomplished national champion. So, coming off a win like that, and then Jax, not saying that he's not capable. I know he's a past champion. I know he's a respectable guy in the NWA. But I think in this scenario, Mayweather's got a lot bigger chip on his shoulder, I think, in this situation, especially coming off that cage match loss. And I think he makes a statement in this match.
Deals. Well, both these guys are near you, so keep that in mind.
I think I should point out that I have faxed some paperwork and sent the tape to the office to review. I believe Christopher Adonis was cheated, but be that as it may, and I doubt that it ever was, like I said last week, you can't pick against a guy with that kind of fashion. Put that graphic up there. Look at Jax's jacket. Look at this jacket. Look at that, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. Right.
And when he says he faxed a tape over, we're talking about the 8-hour high quality VHS tape.
That's right. Betamax. Look at these shades. Look at that jacket. I can't pick against a guy who looks like that. Look at that fashion.
As I recall with VHS, you can't have 8 hours and high quality. That was kind of the deal with those.
Don't you worry.
No, Danny's got a deal for you on that.
Don't worry about it.
All right. Well,
we're talking about the national championship here, a title that's in the National Wrestling Alliance is second only to the world's title. And, when we think of second titles, you think of the Intercontinental, and I just see on TMZ Sports. I never thought that TMZ would be the thing that was a reliable news source, but they are one of the most reliable when it comes to this. Apparently, Scott Hall has passed away.
Yeah, WWE also reporting that on Twitter right now as well. Saddened to learn that the two-time WWE Hall of Famer Scott Hall has passed away. So
if you're watching this and you see the sad look on my face when other people are talking, it's because we will not hear another "Hey Yo" again. Apparently, that's very sad.
That is lots of love to his friends and family right now. That's going to be tough. We were going to bring him up. Possibly anyway, just to mention the fight he was going through, but anyway, R.I.P. Scott Hall.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
Oh, no. It's unfortunately, I mean, this is one of the things that happens, and it's too bad to hear about it, and just unfortunate circumstances too.
I'm just so happy that we had him in our lives for the time we did, though. How much did he enrich our lives?
Oh yeah.
That's true. There's a guy who didn't leave anything on the table and has definitely experienced more in a lifetime than I think any of us combined could say we will ever hope to. So, but still, you always want somebody to get a little bit more on that, but still. Big bucket of win.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will move on with this program, and we'll talk about the next match I could think of would be the TV title match. How about Tyrus defending the World Television Championship against Rodney Mack? Now, you know, Austin Idol obviously is going to be in the corner of Tyrus there, but got to know what you guys think about this one.
Doc, real talk. How many title defenses is Tyrus at? Him and Idol are always muddy in the water, saying different numbers. What's the legit?
I want to say it's 5. I may be off by a match, but to me, that's the one reason that number is so unclear is because Tyrus has been very adamant that he doesn't care about that rule, that he's going to defend this title a million times, and the rule of 7 is irrelevant to him, and I can appreciate that. So I think we're at 5. But I said I could be off by 1 maybe, but
I think you're right, Doc. I think it's 5. I think Scion was 4, and then
this would be 5. Yeah,
this will be 5.
But it doesn't matter. Tyrus is like he will never lose this championship. So
wow, you take a lot of people at face value there. Matt Cardona says something, we trust him. Tyrus says, I don't care about this 7 thing. I don't think we're going to know if Tyrus really cares about that 7 until he's at 7. Then all of a sudden, we'll see the measure of whether or not he's just using this as a stepping stone or if he actually cares.
Well, I think Tyrus's position has been that the man makes the belt, and he's been clear that this is a world title, and he is a world champion. It historically has been called the World Television Championship, and he feels ultimate respect. We've talked about him before on this show about that he respects the 10 pounds of gold, but as far as he's concerned, he's the greatest in the world. And as long as he holds that belt is the prestigious trophy. So, we'll see. I'd love to see it when he gets to 7, him and Nick Aldis go toe-to-toe. I'd love to see that. Who wouldn't?
All right. Well,
does Doc Stinson know the future? We will find out at the Crockett Cup.
We'll find out.
I'm going with Tyrus. Austin Idol his mind is up there with, Chuck Knoll and Bill Walsh. And
I had a feeling you and Austin Idol
people like that.
He's a performance genius along the line of Menudo.
They're genius head coaches that coach their teams to dynasties there, K1. And that is where Austin Idol's brain is at. He's a genius. I can't go against the genius in this one.
Can I just say, worst car ride I could imagine would be Deals and Idol being the only 2 people in a vehicle with you driving 12 hours across country.
What are you talking about? That'd be great. Well, you know what? We're going to do that, Kyle. We're going to do that.
You should sell that in the NWA shop.
Deals, Idol, and Kyle. It almost kind of rhymes too.
I would love that because I wouldn't have to talk at all. I could just be quiet the whole time.
I don't shut up, and even I would find the 3 of us just talking over each other to be the most irritating thing ever. I'm in touch with reality. I get it. I don't want to be a part of it either.
I think it'd be tremendous.
Learning under one of the greats, like Chuck Tanner, Braves manager in the mid '80s. When the Braves were at their peak.
Perfect. I'm so glad that he has the skill level of teaching these people baseball and wrestling. It's going to be fantastic. Really going to help them out in the ring. How to hit pop. I don't know baseball.
Hey, NWA TV title picture. Jeffrey is asking for younger guys in that picture. I mean, Mac is. I know he's a veteran, but I mean, his challengers before this were what? Clearwater and G's and Jaden Roller and Scion.
You look at the men who've held it, guys like Ricky Starks and Zicky Dice and young guys have held that title.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Maybe the Deal Machine needs to get a young contender to go take that belt.
Well, you could try.
Deals, who in the NWA do you feel would be able to beat Tyrus for the television title? If it's not Rodney Mack, who do you say it is?
Well, Kyle, I think if we could get you out here to the Deals training facility, it might be possible.
I'm retired. I'm a much better broadcaster than I was a wrestler. Trust me. That's why you don't see it anywhere.
No, I would. I have my eyes scouting even outside the NWA. There's a couple. I actually have somebody in mind, but I'm not going to say it because if he never shows up, then I'm just talking.
Right. You've got a couple in your stable right now, Danny Deals, that are a few that you're training right now, and a guy like a Plunkett or an Alex Taylor. maybe a Sal Renaro, someone that you've interacted with. All of those guys.
Well, Sal's hanging out with Count Chocula and Frankenberry right now. They're running around. He's drinking blood and doing all that kind of.
The only good choice of people to spend time with has been me so far, because between you and Mitchell, I have to question what he sees in people he decides to spend time with.
As Kyle was at the desk, he was drinking blood, doing the Doom thing, and rolling around on the floor. He's, it's. I
get weird text messages from the middle of the night that are just like pictures of him in the woods. No context. The guy's weird now. And I partially blame Deals for getting him to the point where somebody could just rush in and brainwash the poor guy.
I had him on the route to perhaps a TV title, but he decided to go crazy. Right. But I had him on the way. He had never won a match until Double D showed up. Did he?
Not once ever.
Okay. Ever in the 15, 20 years, however long he's been wrestling. Right? The Deal Machine shows up. And, he starts winning. Now he's hanging out with,
Okay, well, let's move on finally. The next match is...
I didn't start that. He did.
The Women's Tag Team Championship is on the line. The Hex are defending against Kenzie Page and Ella Envy. Now, maybe NWA audiences don't know much about Ella Envy, but you know a lot about the Hex and how dominant they are. You know Kenzie Page and her potential. How are we feeling about this one?
Hex.
This is interesting because somebody like Kenzie Page, who I have massive respect for and has proven herself over and over in the NWA and established herself as a top prospect in our minds. I'm hard pressed to pick against the Hex at the end of the day, because they've defended successfully. They've been all over the world with those titles, and but it's kind of one of those wild card things. You don't really know what we're going to get with Kenzie and her partner.
Will's going upset here. You could tell.
I can feel these things. I get like a little tingle in the back of my neck, and this one graphic, I'm like, it's not necessarily what I want. I'm a big fan of the Hex and both those ladies, but I look at that and I think, man, this one could go a way that we don't expect.
I'm going with the Hex. Now, even though I beat Marti Belle for best hair in the NWA, she's really good inside the ropes, and AK is a badass Rust Belt girl from Detroit, and I just don't think the other two girls have teamed up before too. I've noticed that some of you may not be aware of that. They've teamed up before. It's not just a random pairing. But Gary forgot what they called themselves, so he didn't put the name up there. But I still think AK
Deals, do you remember what they called themselves? Could you tell us?
Wouldn't you like to know? PayPal me 50 cents and I'll tell you.
Kyle did let us know that somebody in the office saw them teaming before. That's how they're in this position. He did tell us that last week. So, I knew that they were a team. So,
as I said last week, obviously the ability of them to work together as a team was big enough to get them to be put as a tag team against the NWA World Women's Tag Team Champions. That means that someone who was very high up here decided, hey, these people are legit competitors. We've seen Kenzie Page. She has gone above and beyond of anybody her age ever should be capable of. We've seen her evolve, grow, and really become a fixture of the NWA ever since she debuted with us. And now she's getting the opportunity for the tag team championship. The Hex, you see two people that have had great accolades as singles wrestlers. You put them together, they've won the NWA World Women's Tag Team titles. But just like that, at one point when they were put together, people were like, oh yeah, two singles. Boom, they're a tag team. People look at Ella Envy and Kenzie Page the exact same way. You could be looking at history repeating itself come the Crockett Cup.
You might, but again, we've ran the algorithm again. I've got the floppy disk. It took me a long time to find an adapter to get that floppy disk into my Windows 95 machine that Danny Beal sold me.
Commodore 64 is quicker.
The Commodore, history might repeat itself, except you're looking at Allysin Kay and Marti Belle, and whether they've been successful as singles competitors and they came together as happenstance or whatever. They just happen to have gelled into the greatest, most formidable women's tag team in the world. And no matter how good Ella Envy or Kenzie Page are, as young tag teams or as young competitors, they don't have the maturity yet. They don't have the skill. They don't have the experience to beat the Hex. This is a mathematical certainty. The Hex will walk out still the World Tag Team Champions.
I
just went undefeated on a European tour.
Yeah.
First to defend the women's NWA Tag Team Champions in Europe in history.
That's right. And AK was a former Burke holder as well.
That is correct. She's the one who got it to be the
like Kyle's kind of like Skip Bayless. You guys notice that?
I don't know who that is.
He wants to be combative all the time.
Oh man. Yeah, I'll never bet against the Hex. They are amazing. And all right. So anyway, it's good to know though. Everybody's ready to upgrade to Windows 11, and Danny Deal's already got Doc on Windows 95. So
that's right.
This is good news. All right, we gotta listen. We don't have all night. I know we could do this all night, but we got to talk about this tag team tournament that's coming up, the Crockett Cup. I mean,
yeah, that's right.
Remember that's happening.
It's a tournament.
Yeah, the night one of the whole event is just dedicated to this tournament, and in the very first round, you got La Rebellion, and they're taking on a play-in team, which will consist of one of these four teams. You got Violence is Forever, the Heat Seekers, the Bad News Boys, and the Rip City Shooters. And I gotta know, fellas, if we're gonna take quick hits here. I mean, who's advancing to round one to face La Rebellion?
Rip City.
Rip City says Deals.
Cleveland.
Violence is Forever.
Heat Seekers.
Oh, and we got to vote for the Heat Seekers. Dang. All right. I am after last week, I think I went with Violence is Forever. So I'll break that tie. And Doc is he's a little
gone.
Little dot.
You're right. It is going to be Violence is Forever. Last week, people said that I jumped around and kept on changing my thing. It wasn't that I kept on, just going with whoever was there. Each team sold me and gave me information that was new that I didn't have before. And my belief was evolving. And I settled and I evolved. And I realized that evolution is violent and violence is forever.
That's adorable.
We're always
That's adorable.
growing as
That's adorable,
individuals.
Kyle. That's cute. I got 4 words for you. Maserati.
Whoa.
That's his
4 words.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rip
sold
City,
him last
baby.
week. Sold
Rip
him. Doc
City.
didn't get to hang out with him last week, but Maserati West sold him on the Rip City Shooters, it sounds like. So
I mean, he was cool. I want to be friends with him, but I still say Violence is Forever will win this.
I think the big question is going to be
Dummy brother
did-
thinks Rip City.
While we're making predictions right here, does any team who makes it to round one, do they get past La Rebellion? That's the next question that matters.
It's Rip City.
Rip City, you think advances right past La Rebellion?
Well, we can't pick that one because we don't know who's winning. I mean, I'm telling you who's winning, but for argument's sake, we can't.
Well, I'm
pick.
just saying, yeah, you think Rip City's advancing to all the way from the play-in to round 2 so far, or you think they're?
I think
going
it'll
all
be
the way?
them and the old Begotten in that half of the bracket.
Okay, all right. Danny Dill's laying his cards on the table there. Well, the next matchup there, if you guys think, I guess does La Rebellion for you guys? Is that an easy guess that they go to round 2 for everybody else?
No.
I think if Violence Forever, just as I said, makes it to La Rebellion, those two teams are going to absolutely destroy each other, and they are going to spoil anybody's chances of getting farther than the next team after that. I think that's what it is. I think it's going to be a great match, but when you put Violence is Forever, again, my pick, La Rebellion in the ring with each other, those are two teams that are just going to decimate one another. And if I'm Hawks already at the end, I'm just thinking, oof, that's an easy buy for us.
Well, what happens? Who would it be out of Hawks Ari in the end? They're facing each other in round 1. What are we thinking about this? Like, look, and PJ got great chemistry at the end. They're just dominant, a dominant team. Sometimes haven't been able to put it together at certain moments, but this could be their chance to prove themselves.
If these two teams were to meet further into the tournament, I would say Hawks RE for the conditioning and everything else. But the end is going to be fresh in this. And a fresh end is a team you don't want to mess with. You look at these two guys with that size and the athleticism they have, you would think they couldn't go for days, but they can. I mean, again, if this was further in the tournament, Hawks RE could war of attrition their way into beating the end. But this early on, I think the end are still just going to surpass them.
You might say the end is the beginning is the end. That's a
Ooh, an Ouroboros. I like it.
That's a Smashing Pumpkin song.
Oh,
I thought you called him Boris, like Boris and Natasha.
Will or Rob, got anything you want to throw in there?
Hey, I think no matter where this match happens in the tournament, no disrespect to Hawks Aries, but the end would be advancing. I think you do have a point. A first round version of the end is going to be damn near unstoppable, no matter who they face. And so that's just kind of the luck of the draw. It's an 8-9 seed match, 8 versus 9, and that's, you know, in the eyes of the seeding, are pretty equally matched as far as ability and chances. But I think the end, they make their way to the next round.
I'm going with the old Hawkman crew, old Papa and P Jizzle. I don't know. Them brothers been hitting the weights.
Man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Every time I see him.
I hope they come out in Hawkman helmets. That'd be cool. All right.
Yeah, I like
Heather Hunley got me. Heather Hunley got me. So anyway.
Yeah, this is one of those matches where if Hawks Aries pull this out, I'm not surprised. I think they got big things ahead of them. They're just on the cusp of really transforming themselves into an instrumental power in the NWA. But I think Kyle Davis made the best, maybe the only valid point he's made all night when he says a fresh end is a very, very dangerous end. And in the first round, man, they're going to be hard to beat.
There you go, Skip. You got a compliment.
Hey, remember when we talked about the villain bringing a child into this so that people would feel sympathy for them?
Yeah, is that my biggest fan over there?
Kyle, they already feel sympathy for me, brother. It's like they said, hey, I already got a bad conscience. Might as well have the money too.
That's why we call him Doc, because he's smarter than the rest of us.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next part of this thing. Let's see. So if you move further down the brackets there, you got Strictly Business taking on Gold Rush. Not the Golden Rocket, as they were originally going to be called, but Gold Rush, Strictly Business. How are we feeling about this matchup, fellas?
I'm going Strictly Business. I don't really have any. I don't have any analysis.
Great insight.
I just think Tom is crazy, and Adonis headlocks a finish. His arms are huge. I'm going there.
Well, here's the thing you got to think of. Both these men are fresh off a very devastating loss. You know, Chris Adonis no longer gold around that waist. Tom Latimer, we talked about it earlier, his own fiance throwing in the towel, costing the match. Who knows what kind of mental place both these men are in going into this? Now, speaking of mental places, or positive? I would say negative. I'd say they might be emotionally defeated. These two guys are physically beasts that you could just imagine going as far as they could. But if the brain's not there,
I agree with you, but I think it's a positive.
You think it's a positive? You think it's going to get them aggressive?
Yeah, I think so. And just knowing those two guys, and you talk about mental state. I mean, these are guys that have been to hell and back in the past few months, and I think they're going to come out, brutal, and that's what we're going to see in that match.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of like mental states, we see Gold Rush here. Marche has been on a roll ever since joining, Austin Idol Talent Management. And then you've got the Golden Boy, who every time I see him is looking better and better and more confident. I said it before, Strictly Business might not be there on the positivity, but Gold Rush, they're feeling themselves. And when you're feeling yourself, you have an opportunity to do great things. I say Gold Rush.
Man, it's a bold prediction. I think in any organization, you've got the what do they call it? The form, storm, norm, perform phases. I just think Gold Rush are too new. They're talented. I don't know that they're entirely. I don't know that they're intense enough right now. There's a lot of
pull us there. 1, 2.
They're interested in the hip swiveling and all that stuff right now. And although Austin Idol, I think, is the greatest mentor one can have right now, I'm with Will on this. You've got two guys that are intense and on fire. Chris Adonis and Tom Latimer have something. They have nothing to lose right now. Nothing to lose. They have everything to gain. And let's not forget, who are they? They're Strictly Business, which makes them immediately a favorite to win this whole thing.
Yeah, I'm not. You know where I lie on that one. I think Strictly Business is going to be dominant. Nothing's changed about that. What about, well, this is going to be an interesting discussion. How about when Danny's boys, the Ill Begotten, jump into this thing and they go head to head with Doug Williams, the ambassador of British wrestling, and Harry Smith, part of the legacy of the Hart family. I mean, this is a lot for the Ill Begotten to take on right at the start here.
If the Ill Begotten win this, it will be the upset of the decade. I remember watching Barry Horowitz finally win a match and being shocked and amazed and feeling joy for him. I didn't see it coming. If the Ill Begotten can beat two legends like Doug Williams and Harry Smith, if they can do that and pull it out, I think it's going to be a miracle, and I think it's going to be something that everybody rejoice for. And then let's not forget, they're still going to have to beat another team afterwards. If you even get past Doug Williams and Harry Smith, you better be hoping that's the end of your night. This is just the start of their night. Oof. Doug Williams, Harry Smith going to the finals.
No, I think Douglas and Harold are maybe in for a surprise. The Ill Begotten, I'm telling you, the boys have been training hard. I've had them out at my place. They've been training at the Deal's house, and they don't know who it's going to be. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Freeman? Is it going to be Alex? Is it going to be Plunkerino? Is it going to be Lieutenant Yuma? Is it going to be, maybe there's another one. I don't know. It could be 17 of us. Or not us, them, whoever.
Can they make the Fixers still part of Ill Begotten, and the Fixers are on both sides of the brackets?
Mayhaps.
That's
Mayhaps. I mean, the Fixers have already advanced in the tournament, so I mean,
they did. I was going to pick the Kingdom too.
Yeah, well, welcome to the program. So
it's sometimes hard to see through those glasses. That's all.
Oh. I was there. I didn't know that one counted. I didn't know if,
well, I mean, it's on the graphic. I've been throwing up here the brackets there. You can see it. Fixers have already advanced, and that's what we can talk about next. The Fixers already did advance at NWA Powerrr Trip, and then you've got the Cardonas versus Pope and Mims. That's an interesting one. Another string pulled by Matt Cardona.
Now that's Michael and Victor Cardona, correct, or am I wrong?
I think you're right. Yeah, I think that. No, that's V. Well, I mean, it is Mike Knox and it is VSK, but yeah, I don't know that they officially legally changed their last names.
Okay.
And of course, Mims, who has no last name, just big strong Mims. I guess Mims is his last name then. And then Pope. You got Pope. I mean, what are you guys feeling about that one?
Deal Machine's going upset here. I'm taking Pope and Mims with the points.
You think that's an upset? You think Pope and Mims would be the upset? Really? To me, I would think the Cardonas would be an upset. I mean, Pope is a champion everywhere he's ever been. Mims is one of the hottest prospects in the NWA. Hell, I'll even say all of wrestling right now. The man picked up Tyrus just recently. I mean, that means pure strength. So what's a Mike Knox compared to a Tyrus just to throw around? And I don't know the young man there throwing his fingers up at me. I've never met him. I've never had a conversation with him. He's an unknown factor to me. And so at the end of the day, I'm saying Pope and Mims. It would be an upset if the Cardonas won.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying there, relax, I'm just saying. But I mean, if they're related to Matthew, and Chelsea, then they've got to be good. They automatically have to be favorites if they're in the Cardona family. That's how franchises work. So I'm just saying, I understand that Mims is very strong. He picked me up one time and removed me from an area, and I've seen him pick up cars to clean out a parking space. And as we've established, the Pope is undefeated in 99 boxing matches. So I'm aware. But I'm just saying, they're going up against a name brand. So therefore, it would technically be an insult. I'm still picking him. You're acting like I'm not picking him. You don't got to get all crazy. See, that's why I said he's like a Skip Bayless. You know what I'm talking about, Doc? Or no?
Yeah, easy, Kyle.
Yeah.
Chill, man.
Yeah, relax.
Wow, the room's really turned on me.
All right, we'll move these two guys down here. There we go. Now we got our teams.
Hey, Wonder Twins.
I like our odds. I love
how if you look at this bracket, it says the Ill Begotten # deals next to it. Obviously, we know where he's at all this time.
Hey, see?
Now, I just need you to move Doc over to Strictly Business. I'll stick with the Dirty Sexy Boys because, we got to stick together. Heightened sense of self-worth I have.
What happens when you want to get really weird, like this whole conversation? You run into former NWA World's Tag Team Champions Aaron Stevens and Kratos, and they're going to be taking on the Dirty Sexy Boys.
Hey, put us some music on while we talk. Put us some music on while we're talking about this one.
I got you.
All right, Will's going to hook you up with some music.
Oh, no. What are you putting on?
Let's set the vibe. All right. Yeah, we'll just wait while there it is. Okay.
What?
Yeah. So I'm glad we're playing this right now because I want to let you know the Dirty Sexy Boys have the opportunity to make this match very dirty, very sexy, and full of boys. Dirty Sexy Boys advance. Kratos and Stevens, they don't see eye to eye, girl. Sometimes they disagree. Who's to say they're going to have a night that they want to be together? Dirty Sexy Boys advancing in the tournament.
You just heard the
Let's get weird.
You just heard the dulcet tones of Kyle Davis.
Did Kyle just turn into Teddy Pendergrass? Or like, what's going on?
This is NWA After Dark, baby. We're talking about Kratos and Stevens and the Dirty Sexy Boys.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
What do you folks at home think? Who's
All right.
going to advance?
That got weird now that we've run all the women out of the chat.
Oh, we did that a long time ago, Deals.
The numbers did drop, actually.
So are we leaving Dirty Sexy Boys here, fellas?
That's my vote, Dirty Sexy Boys. Whoever sultry said those words, I agree.
Not so fast, Kyle. Not so fast. We're talking about the former World's Tag Team Champions. And in fact, they do see eye to eye right now. They've seen eye to eye maybe for the first time in their tenure together. They're hungry. They're hungry just like Strictly Business Stars.
Hungry like a wolf.
I've got hungry like a wolf, as it were. I love the Culture Club. Great rep.
Duran, but it's close enough.
Man, come on now. You got that's my joke. I love the Cure, bruh. Yeah.
All right. Well, then one last match we got to discuss in that first round is going to be the Now entering and facing the Briscoes. This is going to be a big match for these guys in the Now. How are we feeling about this one? Any chance for the Now to beat the Briscoes? They're confident. I love their confidence.
I think the Now might whoop their ass.
Okay. All right.
Well, now that would be an upset. So you would be right in that upset. Yeah, I mean, I go Briscoes. It's the algorithm for me.
There's no fun if we all get in here and pick the same one. Somebody's got to be different. I'm going with the Now.
I said it last week. I'll say it again. If the Briscoes can keep their cool and not end up making those bloody handprints on the Now's gear in this photo, their own blood, if the Briscoes can keep level-headed, they will win this no problem. But we also have to remember, last time Briscoes were at a Crockett Cup, there was an upset, and they did not handle it well. So who's to say what's going to happen? As long as the Briscoes learn from their past mistakes, I'm saying Briscoes. But if they haven't, you're going to see the Now actually advance and end up making this entire tournament something nobody expected.
Yeah, because they got DQ'd, right? Didn't they go crazy or something?
Yeah, there was some funny play. There was some little shades of conspiracy Corgan going on in that last event. But
see, it could happen once again.
Will looks like he's dying over there. But if you're curious,
seriously, how could this guy have these opinions and not be a Matt Cardona fan? I don't get it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this real quick. If you're curious about what happened the last time the Briscoes were here.
Rock and Roll Express, with all due respect, yes, y'all are legends in the game, but it's 2019 and we them boys. And I don't know if y'all heard this or not, but we the baddest tag team on the damn planet.
Their accolade for the first time in March 1983. They have had a tag team match. Not only do they want to win the Crockett Cup, not only do they want to win it, look at that. Just tearing at the mouth of Ricky Morton. They set him
Y'all want to do us like this? Hell no. Y'all want to disqualify them boys? Hell no. Do y'all realize who the hell we are? NWA, y'all want to play this game? Y'all want to disqualify us? Well, the hell with y'all. The hell with this tournament. The hell with them. The hell with the damn Crockett Cup. The hell with all of you.
All right, maybe I'll pick the Briscoes. I don't know. Them boys kind of crazy.
Every now and then I forget how afraid of Jay Briscoe I am, and then when you say something like you show that, it all comes back to me, and I have memories of fear. And Briscoes all day. Briscoes all day.
I like how brother said, "All due respect, I'm gonna whoop your ass" and all that. Yeah, maybe the Briscoes. They need to work on the social skills a little bit, but they look like they might be able to get it done.
I don't know what to expect with the Briscoes when they come in for the Crockett Cup. I do know that I hope that Doc refs one of their matches. It's just a suggestion.
Oh, I'm tired. No, don't worry about me. I'm good, man. I got the Briscoes, and they got me.
Oh my gosh! Well, this Crockett Cup is going to be exciting. There's a lot going on here. Anybody change anything from their last predictions for who advances, like into the very end there, as far as like what teams we see on the finals?
Begotten and Rip City, they'll be in the finals.
Well, that is a possibility.
That is impossible.
No,
Good
it is
job.
impossible. You're right. that can't happen. I mean, they can't. Not both of them.
I'm going with Doug Williams, Harry Smith, Briscoes in the final. If La Rebellion didn't have to go through Violences Forever, I mean, just look at this. La Rebellion, the tag team champions, the #1 pick. You'd think that they'd have it easy, but here we go. And if Violences Forever goes there, you got them. That's a hard-hitting match. Then, if I'm right, the end. Then they have to get past the end, and then either way you look at this, Gold Rush, Strictly Business, Ill Begotten, Doug Williams, Harry Smith, they'd have to beat Harry Smith by what I would say. There's no way that La Rebellion, with the competition they have going against them. I mean, I hate to say this, but how fair, Williams and Harry Smith right here, Ill Begotten, they literally have one of the simplest, unless some crazy things happen, match in their life. Briscoes the now. Like, some of these teams have a really unfair advantage just the way this fell out, and that's just the way brackets work, unfortunately. And the fixers have the advantage. I don't know. I'm really thinking that we're going to see Briscoes fixers, to be honest, in that bracket.
Will, any thoughts there still?
I mean, it's so hard for me to pick against the obvious, 1 seed versus 2 seed. I think part of me is because I want to see it. I want to see La Rebellion versus the Briscoes. If we don't get it in this tournament, I want it regardless at some point. Maybe for the titles. But it's just even on the side of the bracket that they're on, we talk about La Rebellion and the End. So we've got a potential rematch between La Rebellion and the End. A lot of bad blood in that rivalry. You've got Strictly Business. You've got Doug Williams and Harry Smith. I mean, that side of the bracket is stacked. But I think at the end of the day, I mean, La Rebellion is going to show us why they're the tag team champions, and they're going to make it to the finals. And then, when you talk about the Briscoes, I've got them going through the now. Those guys are confident and glad to have them in this tournament. But I think, like we said with the End, a round 1 Briscoes, before they get to the point that we just saw them in that video, if that point happens, they're going to be unstoppable. And, a good matchup would be, the next round, either Stevens and Kratos and the Dirty Sexy Boys versus the Briscoes would be interesting, but I still see the Briscoes, advancing to the finals from there. So I think it's a 1 seed versus 2 seed, and there's not going to be really any bracket busters when it comes to the finals, but I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, one would think they'd like to see the 1 and the 2 seed bear out to the end there, La Rebellion and the Briscoes with the dream match, and that's kind of how a bracket is set up. But how often do we see it actually play out that way? I mean, when you look at any sport, including the Crockett Cup in the past or the NCAA tournament, how often do you see it bear out? There are too many intangibles, too many factors. You've got the human factor, you've got human emotion going on. Think for instance, right now, just to switch topics, but to make my point, hopefully, you've got the World Junior Heavyweight 4-way match there with Darius Lockhart, Colby Corino, Austin Aries, and Homicide. You look at Austin Aries, right? He's got to be considered by a lot of people as one of the favorites, but he's got trauma in his family right now. How much does that weigh in? What is going on in these people's lives right now? Everybody brings in these different factors. And then, like Kyle pointed out, then you've got to run this gauntlet of this amazing talent, the best in the world, to get to that last match. To me, right now, it's always about who's the hungriest and who's the hottest. And I realize I just feel like Strictly Business on one side and Steven Kratos on the other have the most to gain and the least to lose. They're the hungriest. I think this is almost make or break territory for them in a way that it's not for the other teams. And so I've got Strictly Business and Steven Kratos in the finals.
Wow.
I'm not going to disagree with Doc. Actually, I think Strictly Business is winning this whole thing. That's my pick to win. So, and I'm probably against the Briscoes, but I am not opposed to Will's idea that the number 1 and number 2 seed get all the way, and we see Briscoes and La Rebellion on night number 2, and then they just go ahead and throw those NWA tag team titles on the line. That would be.
By the way, if OGK wasn't already eliminated, that would change my entire concept of that side of the bracket.
Absolutely.
So we're already seeing upsets. I like the Fixers. I find them very, very, very effective at what they do, and that's be 2 big bruisers that also make me laugh every now and then because sometimes simple minds, simple things. But that's beside the point. They beat the OGK, which I would have had a favorite for that bracket. If I had seen OGK Briscoes, I would be a happy boy. But with the Fixers here, upsets are already happening. So who's to say we could all be incredibly wrong about this? It could end up being the Now versus the old Begotten, which is something that I know Deals would enjoy because I think the Now would love to probably buy something from them because, happy to be here, new name and everything. They might trust this guy. Look at him. You trust this guy.
Of course they do. What are you talking about?
Oh, boy.
It wouldn't be like old Legursky in the Fixers. He's always yelling at me to give him one of them, one of the big bulky pullover hoodies that we have at the NWA shop that you guys haven't put over all night. We've got some of those there. He's always like, I need 7X, boy. Where they at?
That doesn't.
You can put over the shop.
There you go. Look at that.
Wow. He just makes things happen when he says them.
Yep, it does it. Danny Deals.
Nice shirts. I actually have a pin bundle up there too. Lapel pin bundle. And I'm almost out of the Crockett Cup DVDs. I think I'm down to like 3. And I'm down to a hat, but I should be restocking the store. Early next week she'll be restocked.
I saw there was some really cool posters on there that looked like they were signed by like 40 people.
Yeah, Hard Times 2 is. We had about 900 people at that pay-per-view and taping, and they all signed it, even Foley. I don't even know what he did there. He was just there. I don't remember if he did anything or not.
We watched the SEC championship together. That's what happened.
There you go. And signed the poster.
I got your pin bundle.
Nice.
Bundle here.
Hey,
I keep them
look,
handy.
brother. Yeah.
Sorry.
See?
I might need to
Throwing stuff
Hey,
everywhere.
they're durable. He can drop that all day long. It's still going to be effective. That's quality craftsmanship right there.
That
And
is
he's
quality
illustrating it.
craftsmanship.
I love these.
And so I've got a couple things,
that
but I got some new stuff coming.
good one.
Candy's shipping me a box of them. One thing I will say for certain on the prediction side, I'm watching Pluto TV, the NFL channel. This playoff game from 2009, I can guarantee the winner. If you want to put money down right now, I know who wins between the Cardinals and the Packers.
Okay.
So, anybody wants to bet on it? I got you. I know the
All
outcome.
right. Well,
Hold on. The look on my face was Packers are a football team, right?
Yeah.
Are Cardinals a baseball team?
this is going even more off the rails, and we all have families we should get back to or something, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So-
My dog's sleeping, so, and so is the Begotten. So
we spent a lot of time talking about this. One thing is for certain, despite all of these choices, what could be wrong and what could be right. The Crockett Cup is definitely going to be good. That is one thing for certain. Night 1, March 19th. Night 2, March 20th. Available on FITE TV as part of NWA All Access. If you're not going to be able to be there live, which you should be if you can, because look at this tag team tournament. That's going to be awesome. You can go to NWATix.com right now and get those tickets to be there for one or both nights if you want. And then we're doing TV tapings right after that at Skyway Studios in Nashville. You get 2 nights of NWA Powerrr and a night of NWA USA. What am I missing, Kyle?
You're not. You're hitting it all. The one thing about that all access is if you sign up for the annual pass between February 20th, that's already happened, and March 20th, upcoming, you also will get a free Crockett Cup t-shirt. And let me just say, people have been emailing about this. We're going to throw out a batch. If you subscribe during that window, we're going to contact all of you. Then we'll get your information and all that stuff. But unfortunately, it's got to wait till after the Crockett Cup. But again, if you want to be a part of that, subscribe. Do the annual pass. $49.99 gets you everything. Both nights of the Crockett Cup. The rest of the pay-per-views for the year. First run things, so you don't have to be one of those people that goes on YouTube and says, but I already know what happened because it's Tuesday night. How come they get it first? You get it Tuesday night because you're supporting it. So do that. Also, like you said, Skyway Studios, NWA Powerrr tapings. Be a part of that. You want to see yourself on TV. You want to have your voice heard. You want to know what's happening before everybody else. Be one of the cool kids. Get tickets to that. Monday, Tuesday, NWA Powerrr. Then on Wednesday, NWA USA. That's right. And I can almost guarantee you that junior heavyweight champion that'll be crowned in the Crockett Cup will be a huge part of those tapings.
And Deals will be there.
And what he said.
No matter what we do, he's always there. So it's just been since like season 1.
Kids, just remember, depending on what you do, if you end up spending time with Danny Deals, he will remain with you for the rest of your life. You have to be safe. Don't hang out with Danny Deals, or this will happen.
Yeah, he apparently has X-ray glasses.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. It's always a surprise. Well, thanks everybody for coming out. John Gaunt, Caps, Jeffrey, Chris, Playtime Wrestling Federation. You're out there. Just lots of
TWF.
People. Yep. And Big Dub 360. That's Kyle's name in high school. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. We'll see you guys at the Crockett Cup. I'm not sure about next week on Monday. That's going to be tough. Will says he's got some ideas, so we'll hear him out. And we'll be there. We'll be in Nashville. We hope you will too, and we can all hang out. NWATix.com. Don't forget that. And until next time, you all, you enjoy your gravy cake.